Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 five-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off the first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Trigger Mike Show on this good Monday, June 26th. It is already June 26th. It is officially summer, but here in Texas, we needed no official date. It has already been hot as hell here in the Houston area. If you are experiencing extreme heat wherever you are at, please put a 1 in the chat because this is ridiculous. This heat is out of control. Extreme heat, I think, all weekend. For real, for real. I get in the car. I had to go take something to the post office. I got to start the car from outside now with the little click and wait. So damn hot in that car. But I heard some people saying that they, in the grocery store, they want to leave the area because it's so hot. But I will tell you this. All those people from the Northeast, New York, New Jersey, Philly, I will take this over the cold. What I can remember growing up in Virginia, I told my wife this. She said, which would I rather deal with? Houston all day. When I was young, when you're younger and your parents don't got much money, my mom got me those gloves because I told her waiting on the bus, my fingers are cold and my jacket wasn't that robust to keep the cold from coming through. So I had to walk to the bus stop and it rained on my coat. It rained on my gloves, so the jacket was wet. So it even made my hands wet. That cold and wind cutting through that jacket, that was like my teeth were chattering. And because there was ice on the road from the cold and the freezing rain, the bus was late. So I was outside for like me and all those sixth graders. No, if I could have my way, I'm never doing that again. I will take the heat all day over that. Y'all don't even understand what extreme cold can do to your senses. Heat is like, woo, it's exhausting, but you can find shade. Hell, this African skin, I'm built for this type of heat, but the cold, we're not built for it. I know people don't tell you that. I know we think we're chameleons and we can live anywhere, but if you're this skin color, you're not good in the cold, bro. You are not made for that. That is what actually I believe the extreme cold is what turned the original people skin white when they left Africa. Because, all people are originally African. Check your blood. You are. But hell no. That's just a little history lesson for y'all. And talking about the heat, I feel good. Today I joined a new MMA gym where I live way deep out here. They're building all type of stuff out here, but I didn't want to just do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I've been doing Muay Thai all my life. I've been doing kickboxing and boxing all my life. So I was really looking for somewhere very, very close to me, very close. And on the way to the post office, leaving the post office, ran right into it. I was like, oh, it said Brazilian jiu-jitsu /MMA. I was like, yes, let's get it. I joined that gym on the spot. He even giving me a veterans discount. Gotta love it. That was my win for today. I told him I'm having surgery on my hand. Maybe I think the healing time is like 2 weeks. After that, I'm in that gym every day. Got to get this weight off. All right, we got to get healthy out here. We are just getting bigger. We're eating unhealthier, and I hear y'all when y'all talk. We got to get healthy. Let me turn this light on. But how y'all doing on this Monday? Is it a Monday-ish Monday, or y'all doing all right today? We gonna get you through your work day because y'all already know the topic. This is what everybody's talking about. If you did not hear as of maybe an hour ago, the whole circumstance just changed. But we're going to get into it. We're going to chop it up. We're going to talk about it. Greetings and thanks to everybody. And once again, welcome to the Trigger Mike Show. Salute to our viewers nationwide and international. Everybody, we welcome you in to talk to us today on these topics as we chop it up. It might be a little divisive today. I'm not going to lie to you. I might get into some stuff, but that's me. It's nothing you haven't heard from me before. And no, I'm not just going to blame all mothers. I actually have a reason for the things I say. And one day, I hope most of you who disagree will actually mature and listen to what I'm saying rather than immediately respond to it because you're in your feelings. So I hope and I pray for that type of maturity for you. All right. But subscribe. If you have not liked the video, where are we at, mods? Where are we at on the likes right now? I'm afraid to open YouTube in my separate screen that I have over here because it was failing. It was making the stream fail. Something is going on with StreamYard because this main stream that I'm on on this screen was failing every time I try to bring YouTube up on a separate screen. So get those likes up. We need those likes up right now. If you have not done so already, we're actually building subscribers very fast. Maybe YouTube had some kind of hold on it, but for a few months, but now we're going up at 100 every few days. We need you to subscribe if you have not already and share this out to people as the Lapeef Network is on its way to 100,000 subscribers. This is the best network on YouTube. This started and spawned a lot of other networks. So this is the granddaddy of them all. So I need y'all to show your love and support and share this out to people. We know we got a lot of new people out here in this space. Some people come, some people go, but show love to the original. Show some love to the original and share this out and tell people they need to subscribe to the foundational network that started a lot of these pages off, including, well, I'm on this page, so you know what I'm saying. But we would appreciate that. Shout out to the sponsor, Tiege Hanley, 30% off along with a free gift. The link is down in the description below. For those of you who are teeter-tottering on the fence about it, you just got paid. I would suggest that you grab yourself a Tiege pack, stop playing. All right, wonderful product, uncomplicated skin care for men. The link is down in the description. Go ahead and support and get that today. If you would like to support this show, we do accept support in the form of super chat. Thank you so much for all of the monetary support that you give. I see people super chatting all the time, all over this show. We will start some kind of stuff that, where you can boot people off on the Trigger Mike Show at some point. But right now, I really just love the dialogue. So if we are going to give you dialogue, we're going to bring panelists up. We're going to have people for you to converse with. I would appreciate a super chat every now and then to let people know, to encourage them all, and also to give your views. This is a very hot topic today, so I need to see a lot of super chats on this topic. I'm going to get into some stuff, and yes, it may be a bit, I'm not going to say divisive. I already know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and I don't care. The one thing you can't say is that I'm not consistent in how I feel about these things. I take the approach of having a societal perspective. I don't get in my feelings about anything. I would rather the incidents not occur in the first place. What everybody seems to be worried about is who is at fault for every incident. That's not where I'm at. I graduated from that a long time ago. People should behave like that in their 20s. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I'm sorry. That's teenage stuff. Some of y'all are still stuck in your teenage mindset. Okay, if you're going to govern, if you're going to lead anything in society, you want to get to the root of the problem and figure out why the hell it keeps happening in the first place. Put a 1 in the chat if you're that type of mature person who would rather not these occurrences happen. These occurrences not happen. If you're a mature person that thinks about the large picture, that thinks about macro, not micro, put a 1 in the chat. I celebrate you today, and we will continue to celebrate you on this show. Everybody still has a teenage mindset. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. We've been off fault. Let's talk about individual accountability and how we can make change for the better. All right. So, if you have not already heard today, we are talking about the situation involving Carlisha Hood and Jeremy Brown and Carlisha Hood's son. As you can see, I chose a topic well because not only do I know everybody's going to beat the topic to death and want to break down what happened, but I think this is more of a larger picture. Not just about single mothers, not just about teenage boys, but the perpetual cycle in which we find ourselves in that creates problems such as this shooting incident involving this lady and her son. I'm tired of seeing it. I know that y'all are tired of seeing it, and we need to break it down in detail as people, as thinking, feeling, productive, functional people. What do you want for the society around you? How do you want your children to be influenced? Do you want your child hanging around a kid that's capable of even doing something like that? Do you want your child, your wife, your mother, do you want to unsuspectingly be hanging around somebody like that yourself? We want to break down and talk about the large picture today because I'm already seeing disappointing things based off of the news that came out about an hour ago. I don't know why y'all celebrating. I'm going to just be honest. I don't know why y'all celebrating. I don't. When we say trash culture, this is what we mean by trash culture. But this is going to be a good one today. I can already tell. We got 143 people in here. Let me open YouTube now. Hopefully it doesn't slow the stream down. But let me open YouTube and see if it'll give me some act right. All right. Have you hit the like button yet? Please hit that like button. We got 78 likes, 143 people watching. Let's get those up to 100 right now. Please hit that like button for your boy. I appreciate that. So let's get into it. Today's topic is, should single mothers be raising teenage boys? My man Trey, you said it. Literally nobody was held accountable. Just a dead body and trauma. Listen, trash culture, man. Trash culture, man. Trash culture, bro. I don't know. I don't think this is the end of this. I don't think it's the end of this. I promise. I don't have an opinion about what should happen. I'm not a prosecutor. I'm not in law. I barely took any law or legal classes. Only a few political science one. I'm not going to pretend to know legally what happens next, but just as far as what we know tends to happen in these situations and how prosecutors, especially black ones, please somebody tell me the gender and the race of the prosecutor that dismissed this case. I am very curious. What gender and what race was this prosecutor that dismissed the charges or dropped the charges of Carlisha Hood and her son? Please let me know. I'm going to take a wild guess. Anybody know? Does anybody know? Damn. Well, let's talk about it, man. According to news reports, let me just give you the backstory. I watched several news. Oh, Trey, you can't be. Trey, please tell me this isn't true. Oh, y'all. Oh, man. Please tell me. Somebody tell me this isn't true. Is the prosecutor that dropped these charges? Now I got to look it up. Prosecutor. How you spell prosecutor? All right. Drop charges, Carlisha. Oh, now everybody's saying a black woman. Oh, the picture that shows up is a black woman. Okay. The office of Cook County, that is Chicago. Yep. Kim Fox. That sounds like a black woman. Dropped murder charges against the mother and son. Oh boy, this is going to get interesting. This is going to get interesting, boy. All right. Let me make my ultimate let me make a quick statement, y'all. I was I was kind of being facetious. I didn't know the ethnicity or the gender of the prosecutor. For all I know, prosecutor could have been a white man, sometimes usually is, could have been a white woman, sometimes usually is, could have been a black woman, sometimes usually is. For some reason, you do not see a bunch of black male prosecutors. Black men aren't highly represented in law anymore. But I think just because of some of the issues black men have with the law in general, may not want to be prosecutors. So I figured it was one of those three people. Could not believe that I just said on Israel's show, I'm not lying, I just said that I don't see them getting out or getting off. And then this happened. I don't see any justice system letting them off. And then this happened. And then I just had for a second a feeling like, a black woman would let her off. And now y'all told me that the prosecutor is a black woman. I don't know if the Supreme Court or any kind of higher court has Supreme Court, I guess, has jurisdiction over everything, but I don't know if they're going to involve themselves in something like this under the Biden administration. I don't know. I don't even know how that works necessarily. Anybody who's well-versed in law, please correct me. I'm asking for correction here. I would not be surprised if a higher authority got involved in this case. I would not be surprised if a higher authority got involved in this case. You just dropped the charges? Let's find out what happened. And yes, I did see the whole video, or I saw the evidence from all of those three angles. I saw the incident where he hit her. That was what went live on Shade Room and all that stuff yesterday. I saw the video from the actual establishment, the restaurant they were eating. Then I saw the other video, I think from the restaurant or something across the street where they were outside. So I think that's the full video together. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong, or let me know where we can watch the full video. I'm not going to play it here because I don't want to get any dings on the platform, but we can go over it in detail when y'all do watch it. So a man named Jeremy Brown and the woman Carlisha Hood were arguing in the restaurant. Is that true? Fact check me, please. I'm asking for correction. Carlisha Hood texts her son to bring the gun from the car. Am I correct so far? Jeremy Brown threatens to hit Carlisha Hood and then punches her in the face. I'm just scripting out what I saw. The son, Carlisha Hood's son, then proceeds to shoot the man in the back. He retreats outside where the son shoots him 2 more times, I believe, they said, according to the or the, I don't even know what it's called, the court reporter or whoever, the reporter's account reading the court document on what they believe happened. So how do we break this situation down, y'all? How do we break it down? What I noticed and what we're going to talk about today, and what I want to talk about before we get into the actual topic, which is, should single mothers be raising teenage boys? The problem, I want to talk about where the problem stems from. This stems from terrible parenting, a culture of aggression, deplorable interpersonal skills, a lack of male restraint, and a lack of femininity. If you disagree with anything I just said, please let me know. But if you agree with what I just said, put a 1 in the chat. I'll repeat. What I noted from this incident and all of the videos put together, this involved, remember, we talk about the root cause of the problem. Terrible parenting, a culture of aggression, deplorable interpersonal skills, lack of male restraint, and a lack of femininity. Stop worrying about who is to blame. Y'all always do that. That's where these discussions go left. This isn't about blame. This is about accountability. We fail as a society and as a community specifically. We fail to learn critical lessons that these situations are supposed to teach us. I got a question for you. How many more men, women, and children do you want to lose to death or prison before you finally understand that preventable behavior is the common denominator in all of these situations? How many more men, women, and children do you want to lose to the system or the graveyard before you realize all of this could have been prevented? The announcement a little over an hour ago came out that all charges were dropped. I need y'all to go to all of your social media accounts: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, your group me chat, and look at the way women are celebrating. This mirrors Kevin Samuel's death. It does. Mature adults do not celebrate this type of thing. It's wrong all over. It's wrong. It should not have happened. People have not grown and matured past their teenage mindset. If you celebrate it in any form, and it's already too late to say you didn't, it's already too late to say you didn't. You got some growing up to do. Every time situations like this happen, I think about my dad. This man dropped gems on me my whole entire life. But one thing that keeps ringing in the back of my head, and it's like I hear him saying it because he said it with such passion, such intensity, and I didn't want to hear him when I was young. I didn't even understand it when I was young. But the same way he said it, I'm going to say it. Prevention is better than cure. You needed the justice system. We just found out you needed a black woman to undercut the system and cure you of your wrongdoing so you could celebrate. How about we worry about this incident not happening in the first damn place? Prevention is better than cure. This is me. This is mine. All right. So I'm going to add, if you want to know where my head is at, Trigger Mike, what are you thinking, bro? You saw the situation. He wrong, bro. That's where you simps gone wrong every single time. Culturally, all over the world, I have seen how people deal with behavior in children and behavior in adults. And what I can tell you from personal experience and intellect, there are two discussions to be had in every altercation involving more than one person. Two discussions, two reprimands, two stern talking to. Y'all only ever want to correct the behaviors of man. Do you not see the correlation between your lack of focus of the total situation and the recurrence and the rate in which it keeps occurring? Y'all don't see that correlation? You only ever want to correct what the man is doing. You have never achieved that in human history. It's him. He's wrong for hitting her. Let me tell y'all something. He is always wrong. Let me break this down to you in detail. Let's break down the man's fault. Physical aggression. Does anybody know why the argument started? Does anybody know why they were arguing? I guess it doesn't really matter. Physical aggression towards the woman. He's wrong. Let me tell you why we don't need to overcorrect. We don't need to spend time on this topic. Every law that has been written to punish a human being was written to punish a man. With swift effect and almost no delay, that man would have gotten in trouble, hauled off to jail and or prison later after sentencing for what he did to that woman. Stop trying to overcorrect men. The system has built-in consequences for us. Everything ever written to punish someone was written to punish us. Physical aggression toward the woman, reason unknown, I guess. Wrong. That is by default wrong. You hear me say it, and I'm going to say it again so you act like I didn't say it, so you don't act like I didn't say it. Physical aggression toward women, the weaker vessel, wrong. It's always wrong. Remember, go back about 2 minutes ago. In every altercation involving more than one person, 2 discussions need to be had. Y'all always want to go. So I set the table. I laid the buffer. We talked about the one. That by default, we talk about the men. Okay? We don't know how it started, but we talk about the men every time. I want to know, does anybody think the woman was wrong before I go in there? Does anybody think the woman was wrong? Yes or no? Just in the chat. Was she wrong at all? Does she have culpability, liability, accountability to take in this situation? Was she wrong? Inquiring minds want to know, was the woman wrong? I see some adults saying yes. Yeah. You see, a lot of the times, like I said, we address the man's behavior, not realizing that when a man does that, he's automatically getting consequences for it. Society won't allow it. But I want y'all to pay attention to one critical thing that did not happen and something that intrigued me, because I don't look at these situations the same way most people do. Did y'all notice that no man stepped in to defend that woman? Did y'all notice that? And I keep telling you the same thing over and over and over again on this show. No man stepped in to help her. Why is that, chat? We're family. We talk. We debate. But at some point, we got to reach a consensus, because I've been teaching this. I've been telling you this. No man is going to step in to help you if you do not maintain your feminine frame. Men, stop being noble fools a long time ago. If you start to aggress and step out of your feminine frame, men by default now don't know who's wrong. We don't know who's wrong, because he's no longer bullying you. Your strong and independent ass might just get strong consequences because you don't seem to know how to let other men defend you. Men do not let other men bully women, but try to take care of the situation yourself, and bad things might happen. It is our instinct to defend women in need of help. It is our instinct to defend all children. But y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. Please, did anybody notice that no man stepped in to help a woman? This behavior being exhibited, this aggressive behavior being exhibited by these hood boogers, is deactivating the instincts of men whose nature is to defend you. Here's another thing that I want to tell y'all, and this is what around where it might get a little divisive. So please understand. I mean everything I'm about to say. I no longer want to hear anybody talk about the restraint that men need to have. We do not talk about the restraint that men need to have. What do women call these men? Bandits? Pookies? I don't know. What do women call these men? I did not raise these men. Throughout history, men that were capable of doing this, and it's usually associated with socioeconomic status, men that weren't raised right, men that are maladjusted, that did not grow up right, grew up getting abused themselves, so then they become the abuser. These men have always and will always exist in society. I am going to teach my daughter how to protect herself from them in two ways. Number one, Mr. Miyagi. This is not me. This is from Mr. Miyagi. The best defense is no be there. Only my mature people know what that means. I'm not saying don't go get something to eat. That's not what I'm saying. And if that's what you think I'm saying, you're not thinking deep enough. First directive, the best defense is no be there. Number two, maintain your feminine frame at all times. And this is where we get into the mother and the son. Women, the man is wrong already. He is wrong already. I don't even know what started the argument. Physical aggression towards a woman is already wrong. I'm saying it so many times, so y'all can't say I did not say it. Do not escalate a situation with a man. And this is where this woman went wrong. If you need help from another man to aggress against this man, then you shouldn't be arguing with him in the first place. What kind of woman, what kind of parent calls their teenage son out of the car to deal with a situation that shouldn't be happening? That is the worst parenting I've ever seen in my life. I don't care if they don't get charged at all. You put a body on your son. A mother did that. This isn't Power. This isn't Power book 1 or 2. I ain't never in my life heard of a father tell his son to come deal with a situation because he couldn't. Son, help me out. Go ahead and pop 2 in his back. That is the worst parenting I have ever seen in my life. You should not be arguing, ladies, if you can't handle that shit yourself. Stop taking an aggressive posture toward men. Anybody that's saying that this man should have stepped back, I agree with you. But let's talk about why that's unlikely to occur. We are talking about functional behavior of well-adjusted people. I know how to just be like, all right, chill. I'm good. This isn't even worth it. I'd have left the whole restaurant, maybe. You are talking about the behaviors of well-adjusted people. They're unfortunately, and I could be wrong, y'all love to correct me on stuff like this, I don't see too many of those in the hood, male or female. Their socioeconomic status, their environment has shaped them to be something else. And don't y'all always preach? Don't y'all always preach? If somebody hits you, hit them back. And I don't mean that literally in this situation. If somebody comes at you, you go back at them. Isn't that what y'all always preaching to your children? Don't let anyone slide. Don't accept disrespect. Isn't that what y'all always preaching? Don't back down now because it involves a man and a woman. Don't back down from it now. Don't tell him he should behave a way other than he was taught. Every time I see these situations where women take aggressive postures at men, the man is wrong for not walking away and the woman is wrong for stepping into it. 2 discussions need to be had in every altercation involving more than one person. If you're not willing to do that, you will never see this change. That dude hauled off on her like she was a man. When you see a back foot punch like that, put him under the jail. Put him under the jail. If you off the back foot, I've punched a man like that. I've punched a man like that before. Off the back foot, you're trying to do serious damage. You're going to break some facial bones. He was wrong, 100% wrong for that. But what I'm telling the women is that we want you protected. You do not get licensed to do whatever you want and still be worthy and deserving of our protection. What you're supposed to see is that woman backing off, taking a posture as if she wants nothing to do with that man. And then you will see somebody come to the side of him and drill him in the face. Men do not let other men bully women. Unless he has some kind of force multiplier, he's holding some kind of gun or some kind of shiv, somebody gonna knock his ass out. How about you let us do that? That situation could have went a multitude of ways. And lastly, before I bring everyone up, because I know y'all want to talk about this, I want to know, I feel so strongly about this, that I want to know that if, God forbid, my daughter was out at an Astros game, because some of those neighborhoods around there are still a little sketchy. And sometimes you got to park your car so far that you actually end up in those neighborhoods. Note for the people who come to Houston to visit, if you go to any of those popping brunch spots, Chapman and Kirby and all that stuff over there, if you got to park deep, don't be walking to your car all drunk. You're going to get got. And it's dark. Don't be doing that. You're going to get got. You better do valet or something. But I want to know if my daughter was down there by herself or with one other woman, 2 other women, and they were being postured in an aggressive stance by a man or some men, because a lot of homeless down there, that they would understand to maintain their feminine frame just long enough for other men to recognize that she needs help. I trust in the human condition. I have done it myself. Every black man has done it because of the shit we see in this community specifically. Hey, chill, bro. Chill. Understanding that I myself always have the force multiplier on me. I'm usually the person to step in. Ladies, I'm pleading with you. This is nothing to celebrate. Here's why. That man was wrong. He hauled off and punched her in the face. His wrong would have gotten a woman's, he would have, what's the term? He basically would have been getting any charge associated with closed fist punching a woman. That woman would have been hurt and he would have went to jail. His actions led to his consequences and her being hurt. That's very sad. Her consequences led to 2 people being jailed and now marked. I'm sorry. This woman can get out, but she ain't living a life no more. She got a mark on her. She put a body on her son. And another dude is deleted. That's what her actions did. I want y'all to think about that for a second. Let me bring up John the Baptist and Ashton. What's going on, man?
What's up with you, man? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm indifferent right now. I don't know how to feel, bro. They dropping charges on people. But we're gonna talk about it. What are your opening thoughts, bro?
I'm at the point now where I'm no longer calling this man wrong anymore.
Woo, you gotta explain that one.
There's a scripture in the Bible that talks about a reprobate mind. And basically when you have a reprobate mind, you're at the point that you begin to believe your own lies. And the world seems because you believe your own lies, you can't tell which way is up and which way is down. I'm just paraphrasing the scripture. And that's kind of where we are right now. So this woman actually believed this man was equal to her in physical strength. Because whether we try to discuss if he's right or wrong is, think about a man. Trigger, take the man away. Just take the woman away. Say it's just another man. If a man is talking to you like that, what are you doing?
Oh, well, we're posturing each other. We're about to get in the physical. We're about to get in the fight.
Correct. So if she's moving in a masculine energy, because think about this, have you ever got into an argument with a woman who presented in masculine ways, and then lost your emotions? It's in that moment you didn't see that woman. You didn't see that woman as a woman.
Yep.
Because she was presenting masculine. And so what I'm saying is, if a woman steps out of a feminine role and challenges a man in a masculine role, and if he blanks out, because you never know the mental stability of some people to control their emotions. If they step out of a masculine role, she's asking for it now. Because he's no longer see her. When he kept telling her, stop talking to me. He said it several times. He's giving her warning. This is not going well. A feminine woman would have saw that, even if she felt like he was wrong, she would have saw that, backed off, and walked away.
Yep.
But we're living in such a time now where I'm gonna let my plane because I know I've been talking for a minute. We're living in such a time now where women are equal. They have all the rights that a man have. They can do everything a man can do. And because she had that gun, she didn't feel the need to back down.
All right.
And so the only thing I'm gonna say if he truly saw her like a man, and I hate to say this because it's not really what I want to say, but it's what, if we look at this crazy this crazy upside down world is, if he really saw her as a man, he should have finished her. If he saw her as a threat when he had to hit her, he should have finished her. That's just crazy logic. I'll let my plane there.
Yeah,
I think please do that.
Said what?
All right, Ashton, you were next, bro. What's going on?
Trying to get her like you. I mean, honestly, I think she was wrong. She put her son in the crossfire. That's one thing you don't do, is put your kids in the mix. And two, to be honest, I mean, us as black people, we all know as males, if we see a woman that's actually needed our help or, was about to get attacked, we would step in. So, I mean, she provoked it. She did what she wanted to do. She called her son in there. If you could take your son to bring a gun in there, you had enough time to de-escalate the situation, and she did. So,
gotcha. His ghetto, what's going on?
Hey, peace to the chat first and foremost. What's going on, Trigger Mike, Pain, Trey, John the Baptist, Miss Diva, Ashton. Always a great topic. This is gonna be a spicy one. I'm gonna just say real quickly though, for the opening thoughts, that everybody really pretty much jumped on it. Like, the moms is completely out of line, and for them to not even be considering that was a 14-year-old boy. That's not a grown man. She called a 14-year-old boy. What's he in, like 9th grade in high school? Yeah. If he's in his right grade, because we talking about Chicago, so he could be in the 7th grade in Chicago. Like, we're not even dealing with that. Like, that this child might not even be educationally on par with the level he's supposed to be, with knowing how the school system is up. That's a whole nother conversation. So she called this 14-year-old boy to deal with a situation that she did not have to be in with this other 30-something, almost 40-year-old man, pretty much on par with her age. And she felt that her son should be the one to de-escalate this. Y'all said it. Like, if you can't handle this, why are you engaging with this individual? He warned you several times. Say something again, I'm gonna hit you. And then hit her. And not one man who was standing there felt that she was in a feminine enough frame to defend her. And all the women online, like, why no man stepped in? They know why they didn't step in, because everyone in there assessed that situation and said, she got it. Everyone in there assessed that situation and said, you done walk yourself into this, walk yourself up out of it.
The fuck out. Yeah.
But you decided to, now I'm going to throw my son's life away. And we have too many sisters in our community throwing their own sons' lives away over nonsense. We saw when it was in that McDonald's out here in New York a little while ago. The woman called her son into the McDonald's and he shot the people in the damn McDonald's. What are we doing, sisters, that we feel like our sons don't even deserve a chance to be grown? They don't deserve a chance to get married. They don't deserve a chance to have kids. No, they should throw their lives away over your egos. They should throw their lives away over your egos. What's happening? And I'll land it right there.
All right. Payne, you went?
No, I didn't.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, listen, there's so many layers to this thing. One, I still, the woman has her fault, but we'll get to her. The fact that this man was so far out of his masculine frame I still can't get my head around that. I don't give a shit. I mean, every black man I know has had some hyena woman say some shit to him that would get you out. It probably including a spouse.
Yeah.
I never thought in my whole entire life to swing on a woman like that. I don't give a shit what she said. As long as she wasn't violently trying to attack me, I just can't fucking fathom it. Excuse my language.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that being said, the tie between him and her son is that they probably were both single mother households. His feminine energy was so high.
It was emotional.
He was
Super
dangerous
emotional.
not only to her, he's dangerous to everybody in the street in front of him.
Exactly.
Golly, man. So now, the only question I have now is, now they came out with charges. She was had $3 million bond. Who put these charges out to be dropped? What changed from the evidence that she texted her son even before he took the first swing to come shoot this guy? And then she told him to track down the dude when he was wounded as an animal. And then she wanted the gun to delete the woman who was the girlfriend who was egging it on. How does all of that get dropped out of immediate? And one thing about the district attorney in every state, they're like Supreme Court justice. They're the highest law enforcement. There's no higher. So what this woman says goes. Now, the sister code has always been dangerous, but now it's been weaponized to the top. Now, because before all this other information came out, I didn't think they needed to be charged either. But but when I found out that they tracked the guy down to delete him, and that she wanted to go ahead and scorch earth everybody in the damn, well, at least the woman in that place and then the men who left, I don't blame them because they heard what she was saying. And men already know we have enough evidence that you can't jump in to protect a hyena from themselves.
You can't.
Right? So, and it's a mistake to do that, right? So there's so many losers to go around. And now this sister who dropped these charges put herself in the line of fire because it's purely an emotional decision, unless there's something else that we haven't heard that came out that forced her to do that, other than this was a black woman under distress. Mm-hmm. So it's not going away anytime soon. But let me tell you, in the end, I just can't get my hand wrapped around. I don't give a shit what this crazy ass woman. He's in Chicago. Black women talk like that to black men all over the place. Mm-hmm. So I don't see. I mean, this guy was completely out of control over what this woman was doing.
Mr. Rich, I think you haven't been in the hood in quite some time. There's a lot of these guys walking around.
I know that, but what I'm saying is, women know that. The women ain't stupid. 25% of black women in Chicago of violent crimes. 25% of the black women are victims of violent crime in Chicago. 25%. That's high. These women ain't naive. They know if you bucking up against one of these dudes in the hood, there's chances are he's going to swing. So let me land it there.
Remember, though, to your point, I said that when people make these assumptions about what men should be doing, I would challenge them to say, what kind of men are you talking about? These aren't men at all. And in these kind of areas, this is what you get. You get single mother-led boys.
Trigger.
And when somebody
Trigger. Be careful, Trigger.
No, let him go. Let him go.
What I'm saying is that you get emotional response like that for somebody who is maladjusted and has been maladjusted their whole life. They do not have traditional norms. So why are we forcing traditional norms such as don't hit women, right? When every teaching from lower socioeconomic status neighborhood goes against the gentleman's code, right? Somebody hit you, you hit them back. Right? It's been taught for generations in these areas, right? And not to take nobody's shit, whether it's a woman. And the other part of the spectrum is one of the issues. Like, I think women, of course, our women, black women, love to compare other men and their behavior and their gentleman-like behavior to black men. I would say, do you see their women behaving like this towards them? You don't know how those men gonna behave because their women don't aggress against them. All right, but PhD, if you got the floor, I'm gonna let Kasim up.
Okay. So first off, I just want to push back on other groups of women not being aggressive. Like, we got too much video evidence of, from groups being physically aggressive with men, even black men, right? And black men will be calling them ma'am and beg to leave them alone. But that's that. With regard to men, with regard to the woman being aggressive with the man, I don't think, we don't know what happened. By the time the video came in, we saw them yelling and him telling her if she say something else, he gonna go cross her head, and then him commencing to go cross her head. But I don't think that the woman necessarily had to be aggressive or acting masculine. We've seen too many instances of like black male aggression with women who weren't doing that. I mean, hell, I was at a library and a man threatened to beat me up because I didn't hold the door open for him. And now that's as feminine as you can get, right? Women don't hold doors open for men. So that narrative, I don't know. I just don't like the narrative that the black woman had to automatically be aggressive, because we don't know. Especially since this man has a history of domestic violence. So he liked to beat up on women, right? And then as far as, men stepping in to help women if they're being feminine, we got too many instances of, men on tape sitting around watching women be beat up on by other men and standing there and watching and or filming. So that narrative is also questionable for me. My sister fell at a gas station. She slipped in some gas and fell. And black men walked right past her like they didn't see her, right? And so if they won't even bend down to help her get up out of some oil, the idea that black men are lining up to physically intervene on behalf of women, when something could happen to them, is again questionable. So I think overall, though, I'm pleased. I'm glad that baby and his mama got to go home. And, I think the lesson for black men is you ain't going to just be able to beat up on women like you want to. You never know who or what she got with her. And so his ass is 6 feet under, pushing up daisies where he belongs. I rest.
Please let me go next, please.
You go right ahead, sir.
I'm pretty sure I'm next, but okay. Go ahead, King Smart.
Trey, don't address that, Trey.
Trey, you know you my homie, Trey. You know we in the city together, Trey. It's all good.
Go ahead. Get it off.
Don't even address it, Trey. Just let it ride, Trey. Whoever gonna go. Just let it ride, Spark.
Did she just
let it ride, Spark? Don't
Spark.
Don't go for it. Just let it go. Just let it go.
No,
don't even address that. Don't even address that, because it's not gonna be beneficial to the conversation.
Let him say what he wants, man.
She just said. First of all, I like to note that the lady's name was Carlisha Hood. I don't know if that struck anybody, Anyway, but the baby get to go home. Her son was a cold killer. She texted him. He pulled up blasting at 14 years old. You call him a baby? He should be in jail. He should have jumped on the man or wrestled him or something or another, but I don't even see how a 14-year-old is comfortable showing up and just start shooting. At 14, people weren't even ready to fight at 14. And he show up blasting. That shit is crazy. That shit's super crazy. Obviously, she's super masculine if she even texting her son to show up the way he showed up What kind of family you got? My mama couldn't have called me at 14. I would have came up and hit him with a bat or something. I wouldn't have came in there shooting. Like, come on, man. The proof is in the pudding, man. They super ratchet, super masculine, and they should be doing some super time because that shit is crazy. Now, old boy, he out of line for putting his hands on her, but that's way too much too soon. That's all I got.
Well, we see a lot of this, all obviously. I mean, this is a case of the old son husband, right? Instead of her actually having a husband to call to actually come in and protect her, she calls a 14-year-old boy to come in and protect her. And that's a lot of the issue here. I feel sad for the 14-year-old. I've been in multiple shootings in the military and as a police officer. They do bother you. They do affect you. You remember the dates that they happened, the time that they happened, and they can even wake you up in the middle of the night. So there's no doubt in my mind that whether he comes off as a tough guy or not, there is some trauma that's going to come along with him having to take the life of somebody in the protection of his mother. It will affect him as he gets older. I don't necessarily agree with the decision by the Cook County State's Attorney. I think that the mom should have been held accountable. I think that she got off scot-free. I think she did entice this child to commit a crime. She put the gun in his hand because if you do have a permit, there are provisions that come along with that permit on how you're supposed to carry that weapon, how you're supposed to store that weapon. So the fact that he could just go and have easy access to the weapon means that she was being irresponsible. She should have been held accountable for that. As far as the 14-year-old actually taking the action, I don't necessarily have a problem with him taking the action that he took, but it is quite interesting that he did take the shot from behind. I do find that very interesting. I would think that majority of people would intervene. They would get in between the man and their mother. If you watch the video, the kid is quite calm. He's sort of standing back, sort of watching this happen, which would suggest to me that he's used to violence. And there's this thought process that because he's a good kid, from the research that I've done, he's an honor student. Apparently, he was an actor. He was on The Chi, and he was in the movie Chirac. So he's not one of these supposedly terrible kids. That does not mean that his environment has nothing to do with his upbringing. His body language said to me that he knew exactly what he was doing. Now, he did fumble with the weapon a little bit, but once he got it out, he was very intentional about what he was going to do with it. Also, if a mother's going to call a child in to use a weapon, she must be confident enough to know that he actually knows what he's doing with the weapon, which is why I also think she should be held accountable. I think that in the end, nobody wins. I don't quite understand why anybody's celebrating. Nobody wins. You have one deceased person, and you have one 14-year-old teenager with trauma, and you have one woman who probably thinks that she can get away with anything now. So nobody in this particular case wins, and it's unfortunate. I hope that Chicago will be able to get this under grips, get these sort of crimes get these handled. But unfortunately, our community, thrives on violence, and this is only the beginning of the end.
I gotta say this, right. I listened to every man talk in this channel, and the only woman that spoke with volume. The reason why I say she spoke with volume is this. It tells you the danger that we are ahead of. When a woman amongst us will come up and spoke so favorably of violence, who lost is the Black community. And everybody in this situation has lost. But for a woman that is supposed to be a nurturing person to come up and then celebrate the death of somebody else in the hands of a woman that is supposed to be calling police, not call her son to come and shoot up somewhere, but call police to come and de-escalate. She chose violence over de-escalation. It tells you a lot that you can take our women out of the hood, but the hood never goes away from them. If you are a woman of such a high level of education, but you still support violence, to me, I would say that it's a wasted tuition. Wasted tuition, wasted money, because nothing came out of that degree. You see what I'm saying? I am appalled when somebody comes on national television, because YouTube is the national television, and spoke so favorably of violence. That tells you that black men, you should do everything within your power to take your family back. Because if not, some group will sit down and fold their hands while the women in our society destroy the remaining part of the black community in America. It's a very sad day, and it's sad that a woman could speak so favorably of violence.
Is there anyone else who didn't go? I'm going to go last. I'll keep it short.
No, I was going to go, but Trey hit it on so many different levels. It's astounding, and I hardly agree with Trey, but this one here, he killed it. He hit the nail on the head on every single category and every single topic. And I said this before on another channel. As men, right, we have to do a better job from our experiences and teaching our boys or our sons situational awareness and how to deal and de-escalate in certain situations, right? I gave a little testimony about what happened to me when I was 11, 12 years old in a situation like that. My father had kind of run that down, to me. I think that we as men need to do a better job in assessing situations, right, for our good, because again, we all want to, go home and go in peace. I think a lot of it has to do with, getting rid of this ego type of thing that gets us in a lot of trouble, right? Standing up for our manhood, when at the end of the day, it's better for me to go home and lose this battle than to lose the war. My thing is with this young man, right? What happens next, right? Obviously, hopefully he gets some type of counseling, but what is that going to do to his psyche, right? Is the mother now going to feel like emboldened that she made, the right choice and raising, and giving him these actions? Because the truth of the matter is, a lot of single moms, they're raising simps, right? And this gentleman right here, this little boy right here, he's a mama's boy. He's a son husband. The son husband is the worst out of all the simps, because the son husbands will resort to violence in order to protect that female, protect that woman. He goes by every single rule that she tells him to do, every single boundary she tells him to do. He's locked in step, and he does that for his survival because he doesn't know how to live without her validation, right? So I think that we have to do a better job in recognizing these particular, behaviors and calling it out for what it is.
All right, Kassim, let me respond to one thing that you said, because this is a narrative I've heard. Sometimes when we dialogue with the women and we say things and the women push back, I realize I always end up feeling hollow. I feel like I never learn anything. And there's a reason why I feel hollow after these discussions. When you said we have to do a better job of teaching our sons, situational awareness and restraint.
Situational awareness, yes.
That man that did that, he does not represent our sons. He does not represent a man with any male teaching or guidance. That is where I feel hollow. My son would never do any shit like that. Any man raising his son that has had the time and the ability to be around him and impress on him, those aren't our sons. So that is what I'm saying. Whenever I hear stuff like that, and this is the Dr. Umar thing, you need to be in the community so those boys don't go wayward, so those boys don't become aggressive. How? My son ain't doing that. Any man that is in the house with his boy, I don't care what race he is, this is what we teach. This is if we are well-meaning, non-abusive, forthright men, we don't create boys that do that. You can literally see his life circumstances in his behavior. What does it bring up to you? Do you think he had two parents or just his mother, or no parents at all? Right? You can see his life circumstances by the way he's dressed, by the way he's like all of that shit. So That's the only gripe that I have with it, is that women keep pretending men need to do a better job when I'm telling you the men aren't present in that boy's life at all.
What I meant by that, Trigger Mike, when I say our sons, I have 3 boys, right? I have 3 boys. So these are the conversations that I have with my sons. So that's where I was coming from when I made that frame of reference. And any other man that, has his sons in his life, that's where I was coming from.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, like, yo, this.
I know Enter the Black Dragon. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, EBD.
John, did you go?
No. I know you want to get in there.
Well,
I was about to talk, but then I would cut you out too.
All right. I'll put my 2 cents in there. I only say I go last because I have my 2 cents on I think Aaron O's show about it. So I look at it as this. I'm hearing what everyone's saying about how the man stepped out of his masculine frame to deal with this woman, and he got quick hands to put on this woman. And I'm also hearing that this woman stepped out of her feminine frame and went into a masculine frame to deal with this man. So I think that what we're missing here, because I haven't heard it yet, I think that we kind of forget that men do have emotions, and that everyone has a threshold from which there's a certain level of abuse that a man will take before throwing blows, and that none of this is mentioned. All we are skipping to is, we're not going to do this. We're going to train our sons not to do this. We're going to talk to our sons not to do this. I think it's safe to say whatever environment you're in, you're pretty much taught not to put your hands on women. But the problem in the situation is the situation. The situation calls for is usually a feminine woman that may mouth off, but there's a threshold to where if he looks like he's about to jump and do something, she falls back, the situation's over, and then that's pretty much the end of it. I think what we have here, and I think especially in our community, is that our women are so masculinized, they physically think that they are equipped and able to physically handle a man, and a man does respond to a challenge with violence. And we all like to say, hey, if I would have been there, it would have been different. But I don't really buy that either. Only because men are used to respecting each other so much. Where we are now is in a place where women are openly, readily able to disrespect men anytime, anywhere, any place, ready to knuckle up. And then if she can't knuckle up, she can call homeboy or whoever to come in and knuckle up on her behalf, rather than de-escalate the situation and say, I don't need to smoke. I don't need to get into physical confrontation or physical altercation with this grown man who can't hit me or kill me. It's more of, I'm going to use whatever means necessary to dominate this man. And now he's dead. Wait. This is my, hang on. This is my thought on it. It's my thought on it. So well, Mr. Nick, I do agree with you. I'm gonna
back. No, hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna borrow 30 seconds.
Stop.
Hang on.
When you're done, I want to borrow 30 seconds. When you're done, I'll borrow 30 seconds.
Okay.
I was going after you, so you still got to wait on me.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, so what I'm saying is basically, I do agree with Trigger Mike that people were stepping out of their natural frame, and look where it got us. And I think that the only rational thinking person, I think, in this situation was the 14-year-old kid. The 14-year-old kid looked at the situation and said, I see my mom getting swung on by this grown man. I have the means to do something about it. And I think that's where he came from. Because I think the mother actually ordered the son to shoot the witness, which was this guy's girlfriend, and he wasn't about to do that. And he wasn't about to let his mother do that either. So I think the rational actor is actually the 14-year-old who actually had the firearm, not the man or not the woman, but the 14-year-old minor. So I think that's kind of ironic out of all this. And I think that's also missed, Because if he would have stepped out of frame as well, he would have just shot up anybody, as Mama said. But he didn't do that. He had the wherewithal to assess a threat and mitigate the threat, harm to his mother, rather than somebody who's randomly whatever that his mama don't like, and then delete that person too. So that's just kind of where my 2 cents is at. And then I'll land the plane there. And then John, I think you're next.
Yeah. So the point I want to make to what everybody was saying is we're judging the man by the standards of old. This is a good comparison to, is basketball 90s the best or 2023 basketball is better? The rules have changed. The rules are no longer the same. It's upside down now. The world has changed. So we're judging this man saying that he's acting feminine, emotional. Well, according to the rule, because there was a time when I came up in a single parent home. But the society and the rules was geared that there was a man role and there was a woman role. And if you look for it, it shows you how to walk through life as a man and it shows you how to walk through life as a woman. What has happened here in the past 20 years is something that we've never seen before. There's no more men roles and there's no more women roles. So if you don't have a father teaching you, society is teaching you what it didn't teach me. It's teaching you that men and women are equal now. And that's why this man, this 30-year-old man who was raised in the last 20-something years, saw her as a threat. And he went in his emotion based on how he was trained by society.
Yep. Hey, listen, I know that this is a large part of what I've been saying for the very longest time. For every action, there is an equal but opposite reaction. You cannot come out in society and say, and that is not only true in physics, that is true in the realm of human interaction. You cannot be out here saying equality for women, we are equal to you, and not expected to train men to actually look at you that same way, especially in a society where boys are raised primarily by women. So if this woman is going to aggress against me, but you keep saying that you're equal, do not ask for special help. Do not ask for special circumstances when you get hauled off in the face. This is why we don't like the equality narrative on any level. I don't like it. It leads to stupid ass behavior like this.
Hey Mike, what was this shit over? This was at like a taco stand or some shit, right?
That part nobody knows.
I'm just saying, what is that deep at the damn taco stand? Do it got to get the blood blows and all that?
The report said something about food and him telling her to get her food or something along those lines, and it escalated from there.
Whatever it wasn't worth it.
Over nothing. Yeah,
none of that shit's worth it. But let me get.
Well, EBD, you stole my thunder because I was going to talk about the 14-year-old boy not letting his mother go delete the girl too. He had a little bit of discernment, even when all of that was going on, not to give his mother back that.
And even that we can break down, because what he's doing is he's such a simp, right? So you're going to take a kill order to kill a man.
I don't call that.
But then you want to show restraint. Exactly. You want to show restraint for the woman? You see what I'm saying?
He wasn't. At that point, he wasn't a simp because he would have gave her the gun. I'm just thinking that.
Oh damn!
First of all, or deleted the witness.
I don't care what none of you guys say. The first shot, the very first shot, I thought was justified. Before any of that other information, any of us see somebody wheeling our mother like that, we're gonna. If we have a gap, we're gonna use it.
Mr. Payne. That shot was not justified. Because hold on. Wait. You know I teach this stuff. I just taught this class yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Come on.
All right. No. This is what I'm saying. If you cannot change the rules for women, you can't do it.
No, tell me why.
So hold on. You cannot change the rules for anybody. If somebody's talking, you talk back. If somebody's hitting, you can hit back.
The 14-year-old guy was supposed to go hit the 2-year man.
If someone pulls out a deadly weapon, you can shoot back. That is the way it works. Listen to what I'm saying. If you give free license to people to pull out a gun during a fist fight, there will be nothing.
What fist fight? He was pounding on the guy's mother. It wasn't a fist fight.
It wasn't a fist fight, Mike. Tell kids that they can shoot people over their moms. Think about it this way: dads don't.
You gotta listen, Payne. You gotta listen, Payne, because you gotta listen on him.
You do not.
You heard him, but you're not
license
listening though.
No, I am listening. He's not
You do
making
not
any
give
sense.
license for teenage boys to shoot men over situations their mother never should have put them in.
That doesn't give him a license to every teenage boy to shoot.
It does.
No,
So what I'm saying is, systemically through law, that is what will happen.
No,
we
it's
have
not.
laws of escalation for a reason. When someone is talking back, you can talk back. That's where you usually kill. Most de-escalation situations are supposed to be diffused right there. Like, this person is talking aggressively, they taking an aggressive stance.
Bro,
I ain't going to jail for your dumb ass.
Man,
I'm
you
out.
guys are capping hard, man.
If
I see somebody pounding on my mother and I got a dad, I'm gonna use it.
Hang on,
are you kidding me?
I hate to be the guy. That's not completely true. And the use of force continuum, that would not apply for the police. When you have passive perpetrators, they can get hit with pepper spray, tasers, all types of things, which would be at a level up. So you're not meeting force with force there.
Trey, I'm talking about citizen to citizen.
I mean, that's new to me. I've never heard that you had to match force with force.
No, so in Texas, that's the way we teach it. So think about it this way: the laws of escalation have to apply, because think about everybody's different level of what a threat means. That means a woman that's going to get literally a Trinidadian dude who talks loud and with his hands. Oh my God, he's aggressing against me. 2 in his chest. If you don't create laws of escalation that way, people won't understand. If somebody's talking, you can talk back. Somebody hits you, you can hit back. Deadly weapon, shoot back. That is the laws of escalation.
I hear you talking, and even if you sound like you're making sense to yourself, if you're 14 years old and you got a gun, and you see somebody willing on your mother like that, you're going to use it.
We are glad you are not a parent anymore, or at least a young one, because goddamn, these kids,
what are you
the kids already got guns.
Yeah, but what are you talking? I mean, you name me one man on this panel at 14 is going to go to this aggressive 34-year-old man.
Do you know what, Mr. Payne? Do you know what I say to that? My mother would have never put me in that situation.
I don't believe you.
My mother would have never put me in that situation.
Wait. So what I'm hearing is the law versus right and wrong, and that is the conflict that we're dealing with here. We're dealing with what Mike is talking about. What Mike is talking about is the legality of it versus Mr. Payne. What you're talking about, what you're talking about is what should that 14-year-old do or don't do when
why did the attorney general drop all the charges? How could they possibly drop all the charges based on what's going to say?
Prosecutors dropping
charges
it has nothing to do with anything. There's a burden of proof. And if she doesn't feel as though she can meet the burden of proof, basically, this is fancy lawyer talk for, I can't win this case. If she doesn't feel like she can win this case, then a lot of lawyers will drop cases. It doesn't mean that they can't actually prove it. They just feel like they can't.
This is the part where I think is going to happen, Trey, because it's actually very strategic. That's why I said people better chill out now, because this is what they did in Trayvon Martin's case. The lines were so blurry that they just went with murder one, I think, right? And I said it to myself,
which is always a mistake.
I said, you cannot prove murder one. He's going to lose. I said that. I'm not even a lawyer.
It is the hardest burden. It is the hardest thing to prove.
I said, you can't prove murder one. He would be in jail still. If they would have gone for manslaughter, they would have got it.
Yeah, but that's part of the setup, right?
But I'm saying that
murder one to get the guy off.
No, I'm saying that they might come back. I wouldn't be surprised if they come back.
Who's going to come
prosecutor.
back?
Yeah,
now that all the videos went
the
viral,
report says that it's still under review. They just say they dropped the charges as for now, but the case is still under review. They can always come back with second or third degree or involuntary manslaughter.
I guess we got one place where we disagree. I just think that every man here is telling me that if he sees his mother getting wheeled on and they have a gun, that they wouldn't do
what
anything.
I'm telling you,
I don't believe that at all.
Hey, that's not what we're telling you.
That's what I'm saying, though.
That's not what we're telling you.
We are talking about. He's not going to open
hold on.
He's not going to do that. He's going to protect his mother.
This is a grand scale discussion about how that shit should have never went down in the first place. That's the angle I'm
not discounting that, Mike. I'm talking about this one point.
All right, let me get the I'm gonna be honest, my mom would have never put me in that situation. And if I'd have came in there pointing, please don't. Your life is over.
And let me say this too, because My mom would have put me in that situation because she was an unruly woman.
Mm.
Unruly women put their kids in dangerous situations.
Mm.
This is why I learned so many lessons early in life. Not even you can't even defend your mom and your family in certain situations because she actually, I love the woman, but she put me in so many harmful situations as growing up as a child. So
Damn.
answer your question, Payne. There are some kids who learn early. No, your mom will get you killed.
Yeah, I don't dispute that.
Damn.
I
All right,
don't
let
So
me get
you
dispute
these
that.
super chats read,
so
y'all.
when you go the way I grew up, it's not unlikely that a man would bag up watch his mama do like that because he understands. He sit there watching. I'm gonna let that go. But y'all, hey, that's real though, bro.
I'm
All right,
not
let me get these
I'm not
read.
disputing that point.
Mr. Rich, let me be the first one to say for the love of the game, thank you for that, sir. Ray Whitfield became a new member. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate your support. Mr. Rich, again, they call them baby daddies.
That was the point. That was the point. So what do you call guys like that dude? The women call them baby daddies.
Damn, that is true. That is true. John the Baptist, $2. Trigger, he shouldn't step back. I don't know what that means.
Maybe.
What did you mean by that?
Should have been maybe. Maybe he should have stepped back.
Oh, okay. King Trini, masculine men are 100% confrontation. Man, that is 100% fact. Listen, to the world at large, let me tell you something. You do not get to pick and choose when men use their masculinity. You don't get to have the best military the world has ever seen without masculine men who can go fuck some shit up. You don't get to just disarm us of that and then be like, oh, well, we don't want to live with these men. They're dangerous. Men have to be dangerous. It's what keeps other men at bay. You literally live under the protection of dangerous men and what they can do. So the women got to understand, you just can't say, oh, one day we want masculine men and then we want to effeminize them the next day. So I absolutely agree. Masculine men are 100% confrontational and dangerous, which is why we don't start shit with other men. I don't want
a society without dangerous men. I don't even want that society.
Well, John the Baptist, you're not going to have a society without dangerous men. That's just the thing. Dangerous men are needed. Just like my man said in the movie, you need me on that wall, and you want me on that wall because I'm going to get it done. You know what I mean? Let me throw something at y'all though. I don't know, Trigger Mike, you teach these classes, but correct me if I'm wrong. When you're getting your concealed license, there's a part of the class where you're taught de-escalation. Aren't you taught to de-escalate first?
Yes. De-escalate first.
Okay, so if she's the one who has the license and the permit, technically wouldn't she be the one required to de-escalate?
Yes.
They're going to come back. I'm guessing they're going to come back. So that's why I said laws of de-escalation. It's not an actual law. It's an expectation of people with concealed carry permits. You take a class. So this is what I taught yesterday in my concealed carry class, okay? You put your hands out. You have to assume in every altercation you're being filmed because everybody got a camera. Even dash cams can catch you if there are cars present. They will look at those license plate and subpoena the dash cam footage. So you have to make it look good for the camera. I have a whole slide dedicated to this. I carry every day. To my right and to my left are guns, just in case somebody try to sneak me right now, okay? So for the camera, because I'm actually on camera, if I assume there's no audio, I must let people know I'm trying to talk. I don't want to shoot. Wave your hands, step back. You could literally be saying, I'm just doing this for the camera. I'm going to fuck your ass up once I'm done doing this shit. You could be saying all of that. But make it look good for the camera. Make it look as you're trying to de-escalate the situation. Because if there's no audio, they need to know that you made every effort not to shoot before you use deadly force.
Hey, Mike, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when I'm in the club, or when I used to be in the club, and the smallest dude come and bump you when you walking through the crowd, and the first thing you think is, that nigga got a gun. I ain't fucking with him. I already know, right? So it makes me feel like when I think about it, is that she's walking around with the attitude and posture of somebody that knows that has a gun at the ready.
Yep.
So she's walking around with that little chip on her shoulder.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? To where this little incident at the taco shit could escalate all the way to that because she already thinking about that shit.
You hit the nail
I got my shit on me. You know what I mean?
You hit the nail on it. When people posture now,
she knows
think
she got
about
a shooter too.
When people posture now, each other, There is a posture that people take for actual physical altercation, and then there's a posture people take for because they have a force multiplier on them. If you see somebody that really shouldn't be posturing someone, it's because they got a knife or a gun on them.
People
They're not going to
understand.
They're not going to wait for the appropriate escalation to use it. They're punks. Most of these people are punks. The reason she had to call her son out the car is because she knew she's there's no way in hell I'm going to beat this dude, so I'm going to force multiply on him to try to get him to submit to my will. Dumbass.
Let me say this. Go ahead, Trey.
No, just real quick. What makes me question the decedent? Does he not know that he's in Chicago? Like, it's just weird that he would pick this fight not thinking that weapons could possibly show up. It's interesting to me.
Look, mental illness is real. This is why I keep
I'm in DC, Trigger Mike. I would never do that. I would never do that. Never.
But you said, but we're looking at him, Trey, like we don't know. Okay, so for example, this is what I was trying to say earlier about emotional states. You never know what kind of day somebody's had. Maybe he normally wouldn't do that. But for some reason that day,
go ahead. You don't know what type of life somebody's had. I don't even say day. You don't know what type of life, what type of upbringing somebody had. This is why I say show respect at all times. I'm not trying to get off while I'm at the carry out. This shit it's not the way I saw my life ending.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, fam. This is why you see dudes literally take this posture with other dudes. Like literally, it's like, man, this nigga, you know what? You got it, fam. Fuck it. Food ain't that serious at the carry out. I see that damn near every day.
So I'm a fairly large dude, and I've always learned early, like because people see me as a large dude, I'm way more reserved. Because for the simple fact, I'm always gonna look at the aggressor. And it seems like the one thing I've noticed, people who get guns, you can tell how long they had their gun, or how serious. Because as soon as they get a gun, they get so much cockier. They get so much cockier. I'm like, no. When you get a gun, when you got a gun or you got the power, you don't want to show that power. You want to keep that power in reserve.
Yep. Yo.
And these people these days, they get a gun, they just get all.
They want to wave it, and everybody. What's this guy named that I saw on comedy? What is this dude on Instagram? Is it Dez or whatever his name is? This dude made a funny ass reel with a dude where they get their first Glock. They just hold it on the side of their face. They answer the door with it. Hey, what you need, man? Don't be coming to my house with a little bullshit. That's how people behave.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw that one in my feed.
Kind of newfound. So look, it's crazy. But let me get this next question popping. PhD, I want you to answer first, please, if you would. What exactly did Carlisha Hood do wrong in the shooting incident involving her son? That involved her son.
Typing, guys.
I'm actually in the process of driving. I'll be home in like 5 minutes. So can I answer after some other?
Got you. All right. EBD, let's get the question. What exactly did she do wrong? Because listen, I keep telling y'all be like, oh, you blame women. The dude's wrong is built in. Like in fact, hold on. Before you answer, let me no, I'm not even gonna do it. But we know he's wrong. You don't got to get a bunch of dudes to say the dude is wrong. We know he's wrong. He hauled off and hit her in the face. The dude's wrong. His consequences. Should he be alive?
I don't know if he's wrong.
You see, should he be alive? It's wrong. He going to the jail. He getting time. We know that. But remember, there are two discussions for every altercation involving more than one person. I'm telling you, if you start fixing your problems this way, all of a sudden you realize you don't have these type of problems anymore. If my daughter hits my son and then my son full on suplexes her ass, most people think they should beat their son. No, you beat your daughter and say, don't you ever put your hands on a boy because that is what he's capable of. Then you beat your son. But then anybody, EBD.
Yeah, I one word, everything. Because like you said, once people have the capacity to end the life of another human being, they tend to wag it in your face. The problem is that with firearms, I mean, firearms is another discussion altogether. But the problem with firearms, my sincere belief is that once you have this ability to end another person's life, once you have this weapon, You seem to build this kind of arrogance to where like you're walking around with this chip on your shoulder, and this chip is entitlement of respect, and because you have perceived power, firepower actually. So when that guy is in the club, like King Spark was saying, who's short, who's 5 foot nothing, but he bumps into you on purpose, because what he is saying, what he's expressing to you is that it doesn't matter how tall or big you are, I have this leverage and this capability to end your life if you disrespect me, if you talk down to me. And that is how people like that see the world. Normal men who are unarmed know how to de-escalate, because nothing is worth like either shooting or getting shot over. We're not women, not food, not money, because all those things come and go. And when we're talking about using firearms, we're talking about emotional person who has the power and capability to wield a weapon that ends the life of one person or more. So, I mean, you'd have to be at such a level of maturity to even, I would think, handle one or wield one, right? But the problem is when we get into these emotional arguments and spats, emotions run high. Nobody wants to back down, and one needs to subdue the other, and this is the end result of that crap.
I got pushed back on that, but I'll let.
Oh, hang on. You're on.
Somebody asked me in the chat if I should do a show on firearms and self-defense. I'm actually trying to. I'm gonna get Ken from Prevectus Group and some of the other homies that's real big in the black gun community to come through. But I do my show during the day. That might have to be a night show because everybody working. Everybody's cops and shit, you know. But I'll get it. I'll get Diesel TV, all of them over here. But just understand that you're probably going to want to shoot somebody in the face after that show. But I'll make it happen for you if that's what the fans want to see. All right, his ghetto point of view, my man. You got it.
Yo, you guys are killing it. But I was just taking some notes on what I was saying. So I did want to ask PH Diva, why does the woman she was gonna have her son delete life not matter? Why is only her life important?
Wait, what now?
The woman she was gonna have her son delete, and her son had to wrestle the gun away from her. Why is that woman's life not important?
Who said that woman's life is
But
important?
there doesn't seem to be any ire for the fact that black woman was going to delete another black woman simply because of some laughing or egging a situation on, not putting her hands on anybody in the situation at all, according to any reports. Is that a reason to delete her?
No, and actually, I just pulled up at home. So had I been able to answer Trigger Mike's question, that was going to be what I pointed out. That's what she did wrong when she tried to get the son to, involve the other lady. Luckily, the son had enough sense not to do so. But from my point of view, that would have been what the mom did wrong.
Then why is she facing no charges?
You got to ask the prosecutor that.
But you guys seem to be celebrating the fact that she's not facing any charges, but she literally tried to get her son to take another woman's life away.
Right. And so the prosecutor said that she couldn't meet the burden of proof. So that's why she's not facing any charges.
So this was after the son already shot the dude, and then she told him to shoot.
And then she told her son to shoot the lady. Yes.
Oh, so they think they tough shit. Man, than a motherfucker.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And then this is just a classical case of women who use other people to handle their business. If it's not police, it's the uncles, it's the daddies, it's the stepfathers, it's these son husbands. This has just been a classical progression of who can I get to resolve the problems that I personally can't handle in the community. Because uncles used to jump out the window, and too many uncles have went to jail, so they slowed down. Fathers used to jump out the window, they slowing down. Everybody is slowing down, jumping out the window for women. Even cops themselves are slowing down, jumping out the window because they tired of getting stabbed in the back when they go in there for a domestic situation. Then the woman end up trying to attack the officer for trying to get her own man from knocking her eye out. So Now this is the next iteration of who's going to defend me when I'm out of character. And now it's the son husband's turn. And unfortunately, these children are going to be having their lives thrown away because these women don't care anything about them. They care about their egos more than they care about their own children. And it's truly tragic. And then John the Baptist was right. This is today's modern women. They're demanding classical behavior from modern days men who most were raised by these women who raised men that they wouldn't even date. So I don't even understand how they asking for classical behavior from these men when they raised them to not be classical at all. And I'll leave it at that.
So not going across a woman's head is classical behavior. Like, I don't see what's so hard about.
No, actually, classical behavior would be going across the woman's head. Nobody saying nothing about it. That would technically be classical
Black
behavior.
men, learn how to keep your hands to yourself. That should be the takeaway from all of this.
So at PH Diva, we can't allow you to do that. Remember, I said it literally like 10 times. Once you have the discussion about what black men should not be doing, that is the only discussion we ever have. I am a father. I am a member of the community. I pay my taxes, and I will be a mayor or some kind of political member at some point. And I'm telling you, people from functional communities know, one, if a situation involves two people, talk to both people. Y'all can't escape accountability for this shit no more.
So PhD, so you have no responsibility over your mouth? Your mouth has no limits as a woman?
Women can't do what the fuck they want to do.
All day.
So, Ron, let me ask you.
Hold on.
Let's answer the question. Hold on. We already formulated the question for this. PH Diva. What exactly did Carlisha Hood do wrong in this situation?
Well, I mentioned it earlier when I responded to, I think his name is Ghetto Point of View or something. That when after the boy had already shot the dude, and had he shot him the second time? I'm not sure. But then she tried.
He shot him 3 times, I think.
Okay. So I don't know if it was
once inside, 2 times outside.
Okay. So then at some point she tells him to shoot the woman and he won't do it. So she tries to take the gun so she can do it. And he has to like basically wrestle the gun away from her or whatever. So that is what she did wrong.
So no responsibility over your mouth.
What do you mean responsibility over your mouth? Men say
hold
crazy.
Hold on, y'all. Let me moderate for a second. Hold on. So noted. I think everybody believes that was wrong. In fact, that's not even just wrong. That shit is outlandish. Like, whoa, what are you doing?
Right.
Now go back. So that is after the situation unfolded. Wrong. Error. What in the dialogue with the man that went sour, their back and forth dialogue, we know the man is wrong for his aggression, period. What did the woman do wrong in the dialogue portion?
I'm not sure because we don't really know what the dialogue was. We don't really even know what they were arguing over. So we don't know if the man initiated the argument or what. And
so,
again,
let me ask this.
Hold on.
Yeah.
This man has a history of beating up on women. So she could have done anything or nothing at all to evoke that, not to evoke, but then he would have given that response.
Agreed. Right. No matter what his background is, like I keep telling people, we don't raise these men. We don't know what mental issues people have. We will never be able. The police themselves are a reactionary agency. Trey can tell us the amount of things they do proactively, which is probably less than 10%.
Zero.
They react to what has happened to inside of the community. So women saying that we need to get all people off the streets, nothing will ever happen until the police are called. So the event has to happen first. So what that woman is wrong in the dialogue. Do women have the right to take an aggressive posture against men, or should they back down and let somebody else help?
No, they don't, unless they feel like they can whoop them. And I don't understand how all these Christians gonna sit up here and they know the power of the tongue. The power of the tongue is spoken
definite tongue.
But now you're gonna say, now you could talk all day and just say whatever you want to people.
Yes, you can.
Okay, great. Hold on. Wait, y'all. Hold on, y'all. That is actually very telling that you say that, because if anybody who thinks they can do whatever they want to people should expect whatever consequences that come with that. Do you agree?
Right, and he got those consequences, and now he put.
She got consequences too.
Not anymore.
Did she deserve to get knocked the hell out the way she did? Yes or no? Because I only hear about accountability for consequences with men. So if we all agree with you that, hey, the boy was going to shoot, his mama was getting whooped, did she get the appropriate consequence for her verbal aggression?
Mike, right. Can I go next? Can I go next, Mike?
Well, listen,
can I go next, Mike?
Public service announcement. You can't say anything to anybody. Don't do this shit, okay? That's not the world we live in. That's not the world we live in.
I mean, here's what
so many law called fighting words.
Here's what PhD is wrong. We're living in an era where people are getting canceled for what they say all the time. People are getting consequences for what they say all the time. I mean, it's part of the new culture. You can't say shit about anything, even if it's true. So what are you talking about? There's consequences for what you say. Now, I'm already on record saying I don't give a shit what she says. This guy was out of frame, and I'll never agree with what he did. I don't give a shit what anybody says on this fucking panel. I mean, I can't see him wailing on this chick, even if she was the worst kind of hyena in the whole world. It just was a bad look, and that's why we're in this quagmire we're in now. Because I'm not surprised that a female prosecutor at the top is wielding her power to let this chick go. I think the only person who should walk is the son.
Hey, Payne, I got a question for you. What if she was telling him, "Nigga, I'll kill your ass"?
But it was okay on that point. There was no immediate threat because she had nothing in her hands.
Okay, Payne. Let me ask you another question.
Listen, I'm just saying. Let me just say to you that the question on the table was she should, no matter what she said, matter. I don't agree with that because we know that what people say does matter. His reaction is still up to him. Regardless of what she said,
but still, Payne, in a situation like that, you don't let no dude tell you he about to go to the trunk. He gonna be right back.
No, but he didn't.
Like I'm gonna be right back. You gonna stand there and wait for him to go to the trunk,
listen, if she
or you gonna put hands on his ass?
We don't know what she said. I mean, we're putting words in her mouth.
Hang on for 1 minute. Hang on for 1 minute. I think this is kind of where we're missing. Even though, in the biological sense, it is a woman and a man. What happened and in the result in this argument was basically two men. If she's going to wait. I'm not saying biologically it is man, it is woman. If she's going to be so masculine to get in a man's face and think that she can dominate him because she has firepower, she is not in her feminine frame at all. Wait. Hey, let me finish. You do not see any woman of any other tribe talking this mess to their men, talking about, I'm going to get my son to come and do this thing to you. You don't see it. You do not see it.
There was a video of a white woman walk up and slap the hell out of a white man, and he punched her. Like, of course we do. Like, we try to act like
white women don't text their sons to go get their gat and go delete this video and the witness.
Oh yes, they do.
They don't.
Can you show some examples, PhD, of that?
Let me Google it.
Hold up, y'all. We stop this disingenuous talk. We're not going to derail the panel with this stuff anymore. This is directly associated. This is a cancer in the Black community. We don't need to talk about anybody else's community because the rate at which it happens in our community is palpable and apparent. It's what always makes the news because it happens in most abundance. Of course it happens because fatherlessness is most prevalent in this community. All of this is relative, and we need not talk about anybody else's problems to derail from ours. They don't fucking matter because it's the worst right here. Stay focused right here. This is where the most
other women don't do it.
Hold on. This is where the most aid is needed. This is where the most healing is needed. Let's stay right here. We don't do that shit where I'm from. We don't talk about other people's problems to justify our own. We fix our own fucking problems. Stay grounded right here.
About other groups of women to try to make Black women look bad.
Well, no, wait a minute, PhD. Let me finish answering the question. First of all, I thought her first mistake was getting into an argument with a man in the first place like that. But I can see that's her nature. I think that's her nature. She's probably been in a lot of men's faces. I think the second thing was, before the guy even threw the blow, she asked her son to go get the gun. Right? They have that on the text messages. I think that's another mistake. And the third one was when she tried to commission. Well, there's two more. One, when the guy was wounded, she told her son to hunt him down and kill him in the streets, or delete him in the streets. And the other one was that she was ready to delete the woman too. So she made a lot of mistakes that she's getting away with. So, so that's my problem. And hopefully we see more of what's going to happen to him. But right now, the black female code is letting her free. And I think that's a huge mistake on the prosecutor's part.
That's why they call them terrorists.
Wait, can I
some
say
terroristic
something?
shit right here.
I think
we got to get through the panel. We got to get through the panel.
I just want to make one point. So y'all are very disingenuous. Now, a couple of years ago, when that man was being sexually,
we got to get through the panel. You already spoke. We got to get through the panel. You already spoke.
Y'all were saying because she didn't wild out or have a more aggressive response that, oh, she was okay with it. But then when a woman has an aggressive response to a man saying some stuff or doing some stuff that she don't like,
we got to get through the panel. She already spoke on this subject.
Are we talking about the same thing? What is this?
See, there you go. Don't see now. I'm trying to restore order. You're gonna tell me to shut up. Come on now.
Yeah, you're not restoring anything. So,
all right, no, because I don't know. I think you called us disingenuous to make a disingenuous statement. I don't think it was any validity.
The point is, when women, even when we respond in a way to de-escalate things, then y'all say, "Oh, well, she didn't have
PhD. But hold on, PhD. Let's give you your flowers. Let's give you your flowers right now. You are very intellectual, and you are probably the best YouTube deflector I've ever had the pleasure of interacting with, but you ain't getting out of this shit. You ain't getting out of this one.
It's not a deflection.
You're not getting out of this one.
It's not a deflection. It's the truth.
I mean, look, give her flowers, y'all. She's one of the best. You're the top dog. You ain't getting out of this one. I don't have the sound effect. I just was like, I need to get that shit. I don't have it, but you ain't getting out of this one. This shit is fucked up on so many levels. I can't even begin to talk about it. But Passport Charles, man, welcome. The question currently on the floor is, what exactly did Carlisha Hood, that woman in the incident, do wrong in the shooting incident involving her son? What did she do wrong?
Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
Well, what she did wrong was she didn't shut the fuck up when he was telling her, shut the fuck up, I'm punching you in the face. That's what she didn't do wrong. Because, like I said, I don't have kids. So for the people that do have children, if you're with your child and you're in a tense situation, don't you kind of weigh the pros and cons and evaluate and be like, yeah, this is not really worth it because I'm with my child. If something happens to me, ultimate, sacrifice or, getting taken away, then my 14-year-old child would be a young adolescent, and who knows where the father is. So I'm looking at it like that. She pretty much knew that she had her attack dog, that she could sick on the man. Now, just like everybody else has said, we're not excusing him for his actions. But at the same time, that's not warrant for him to lose his life, especially when he was trying to escape. The only reason why this woman even is getting off was because the public outcry. Because I don't see how, if he's escaping and the footage is chopped up. So I wanted to see the full footage of the surveillance, because there's surveillance inside that's chopped up and there's surveillance outside that's chopped up. So I wanted to see the full, to see of the reports of her trying to grab the gun and trying to go and shoot the woman inside, and her telling, because if she's able to literally on video tell the son to go out there and keep shooting him when he was escaping, then what kind of justice is that? That's just allowing women to be able to hide behind we need protection, so they can overreact to any situation of them feeling threatened or upset or whatever post threat that there is. Are you with me?
Yeah, man, I agree with you on that. I think a lot of the main points have been made already. I would say basically her lack of cooperation, right? We all know that women are really good at manipulating, right? Particularly when they're in danger. And her sizing up this guy in front of her, knowing that she probably physically can't take him, right? Knowing that she has a child, waiting on her or whatever. The main thing should have been like, listen, the fastest way for me to get out of this situation is just go ahead and cooperate with dude. Right? I know it's going to be a slap against the face against me, and I'm going to look bad, in front of all the sisterhood. But the smartest thing to do was just say, hey, if dude's saying stuff out the mouth sideways, just listen to what he says and do what he says. Right? And that probably would have solved all of this whole entire interaction. But EBD, you made a good point. She wasn't in that energy because she knows she had the heat. Easy access. So that gave her a little bit emboldened. It's like, listen, I ain't got to really listen to this dude. You know what I'm saying? I got firearms, I got squad, I got shooter with me, right? So there was really no need for her to act in that particular way because she knew that she had backup and reinforcement. So there was no way in the world that she would really cooperate with this guy, right? So I think from that particular point of view, if it would have happened that way, she would have cooperated and followed his instructions as he was telling her what to do. I don't think this whole thing would have been blown up. It would be where it is right now.
Nice. It's not so much of her cooperating with the guys. It's more of her yielding and realizing that there's nothing going to come good out of this situation. And her putting her son in harm's way and using him as a pit bull, because all this situation is really showing is that Black men are targets, and black men are attack dogs. That's what it's showing, at least from what I'm seeing.
So why couldn't he yield?
So
why couldn't he recognize
actually,
that it wasn't gonna go nowhere?
let me say this, PH Diva. This situation. I actually kind of agree. Because the what I don't like is that when women will say shit like, "Well, why can't he yield?" I know I did not raise all men. I don't interact with all men. And the one thing I've been taught throughout my life to protect myself is that men like that exist. And the worst thing about it is that those type of people do the most damage. You see what I'm saying? You can't stop a hurricane. You can't stop bad weather. You can't stop those men from acting up. I do not know how he was raised. I don't know how he was raised. That's why everybody, including women and children, this is why we are appalled. Like, why on earth are we having to drag women out when women used to be the first one out of Dodge when a dude start acting like that? So the only person in a society that functions correctly, a dude that wants to get out of pocket like that should only be handled by another man or the police. Do you disagree?
Well, in a society that functions correctly, he's not going to do that to begin with.
No. This is what I'm trying to tell you. That women are so.
Why we keep doing this? Why we keep doing this?
Hold on. Women are so delusional that you think you can rid the world of everything you don't like. Men are not that stupid. We know that person exists. So every time he step out of order, we're going to put him back in his place, or else he stay on his square and I stay on mine. Only a woman thinks you can rid the world of all evil. Y'all are only ones saying y'all want world peace at Miss Universe. World peace is never going to fucking happen as long as there's money and
but
land.
We're trying to rid the world of evil one degenerate at a time. So
you're trying to rid the world of evil.
You like that, Mr. Payne?
Hold on, PhD Diva. Hold on, PhD Diva. You're trying to rid the world of evil, but you can't do it by your own hands. So why is that even an aspiration?
I don't know what happened, but I think it was, when I think about it, I think it was a chick's fault, because if you a man with a woman and you end up getting into an altercation with another woman, normally if you with a woman, right, your woman is going to de-escalate that shit. Like, you wouldn't even feel comfortable yelling or getting any type of arguing with another woman unless the shit was absolutely necessary.
There was too much.
I feel like she had to be. You said what?
He's a domestic abuser. He done went across that woman's head. She was
if we go,
you're proving my point now. You're proving my point.
If we're gonna say that, then her first mistake was being a goddamn ghetto ass baby mama. Then she shouldn't
Which
have
one?
had no son out
Why
there.
we derail the
Actually,
conversation?
that woman has her son in a nice suburb of Chicago. She bought him a car for his graduation. They seem to be
Where's
doing
his
pretty
daddy?
well.
Well, PhD,
Where's
the
his
same way
daddy?
you said, hold on, the same, all the stuff you said, that lady just fucked her son's life up. Don't matter what she did for him before. She made one bad decision, and now his life is ruined.
No, Mike, he probably gonna drop a
I hope
rap
not.
album.
I hope not.
He gonna drop a
let
rap
me ask
album.
this next question. Let me ask this next question. If you just
Can I answer the question? Can I answer the question?
Go ahead, Black John. Black to John. I was about to say Baptist to John. Go ahead. Black to Baptist. Go ahead. Answer the question.
Wow.
I'm all fucked up.
It's a mix between mine and his. Okay, go ahead.
So I want to ditto what Payne was saying, but I kind of agree with everything that Payne had mentioned. But also, I want to add to this list though, is that she also failed in not having a man that could teach her situational awareness. A man, if she would have had a husband who was a husband and a man who was actually leading and teaching her, she would understand how to handle conflict resolution from a woman perspective. A man would have, even if he wasn't in the restaurant with her, she would have understood by being with a man that you cannot be with a man in any circumstance in the way that she was. A husband would help her see that. A father would help her see that. So in another way she messed up is she did not have a man in life that could show her different, and she used her son as a shield.
But like Trigger Mike was saying, Trigger Mike was saying that she had some training with the gun.
They teach you to de-escalate the situation.
She should have stood down. She should have stood down.
That's my whole point of view.
Well, no, I'm saying she should,
and she didn't do that. The man gave her two opportunities to stop talking and just get your food, and she didn't do that.
Yeah.
So she provoked the situation, and then you brought a 14-year-old. No man would bring his 14-year-old son into that situation.
Yeah,
no man would do that. So that don't sit right with me.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I say she hasn't been around. She hasn't been around enough men in her life to understand this situation.
But they teach you that in gun class, do they not, Trigger, to de-escalate?
No. You miss what I'm saying. I'm saying in her life growing up from childhood to adulthood, she hasn't been around enough men to understand this.
He's been with a lot of men.
What are you gonna do?
Three things missing.
This is why I said, go ahead, EBD.
No, three things missing: the father, lack of respect for men, and the lack of value of men. If she doesn't respect any man during her entire upbringing, including her father, whether he was there or sometimes there or not, she's not going to understand or have the concept that men can destroy with their hands. They don't need a weapon. They don't need a crew. And the problem is she wasn't raised with the idea and with the knowledge that there is a threshold that you do not cross with a man, because this can happen to you at any stage of your life. She did not grow up with that discipline or that knowledge or that respect. Men grow up with this. I don't give a damn who you're raised by.
Right, but couldn't the same be said of him? He didn't recognize that it was a boundary.
You didn't hear what I said.
PhD.
No, all those things apply to him, and that's why he's not here.
We addressed that earlier in the show. You just didn't hear it.
It's like no man is ever absolved. So PhD, remember, you don't have.
I'm not even excited.
No man is ever absolved of his wrongdoing with physical aggression towards a woman. That is built.
No, I'm not yelling. I'm not yelling. I'm just talking with force. I'm teaching. See, this is what women don't even recognize. You don't even recognize I'm just talking with force.
Okay,
exactly.
All right, let me. I see you in the back. Let me get this. Let me get this next question popping. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the Trigger Mike Show. We have an all-star panel plus a terrorist in our midst. I'm joking. All right. So let me get the next one popping, because hey, let me tell y'all. Now that we're actually breaking it down, I think that lady, the prosecutor, I don't know if the Supreme Court can do anything. She might let them go, but there's no way. I'm just thinking about that boy walking the street. No, if she holds a concealed carry license, and remember, I do teach this, she encouraged the unlawful use of a minor to use a firearm. So this shit ain't over. And this is what I think is going to happen next. I don't know legally. I'm not qualified to tell you what's going to legally happen. But what I think is going to happen, this lady might be losing custody of her son. So should Carlisha Hood lose custody of her son? She texted him before he threw a punch. They got the text messages. Before he threw a punch, text him to bring her gun out of the car. All right? So for that alone, should she lose custody of her son for the bad decision she made leading up to the physical aggression of the man? Anybody can go.
Yes. She should lose custody of her child. Because if you put your child in harm's way for a little spat, because we don't even know how this even started. Because it seemed like they had to know each other. Because I don't see me going to McDonald's, get 2 double cheeseburgers, and willing to almost, take somebody's life over whatever we could be talking about each other, especially if we don't know each other. That's what I would love to see if they had that type of footage. But yes, putting your child in harm's way for something that's totally avoidable, yes, you should lose your child. Or if the father is present, that the child should get full custody, and then she should get visitation. And one more point I wanted to add in. Wait. One more point I wanted to add in before when PhD was talking about, he's a domestic abuser, so that's what he should. Him dying is not really a big deal. So then that means that anybody that has a felony and the cops pull over for no reason and they want to just escalate and arrest you for no reason, then that just opens the floodgates, because they say the same thing about George Floyd, that he had some kind of background, or when the police arrest any black person and then they kill him, then they want to bring up their past, like that's to justify what the police did for taking that person's life. So you gotta be careful when you say stuff like that.
We got to stay on the question.
My one word answer is yes. She deserves to lose her kid, and I'm out.
Okay, Mr.
That's my answer. That's my answer. My answer is yes. She should lose it.
Okay, go ahead.
Just go.
Go ahead.
Okay, good. This is what I'm going to say as a live lesson. That
I got some marshmallows on though. Go ahead.
Too old to be eating marshmallows.
This is one thing I'm going to say as an example. Okay, when I went home to bury my dad, right? We were talking, 5 of us. That's all the children of my dad. We were all sitting in the front seat, and my sister began to say something, and I told her to stop. She was talking to my brother. And I can see that the tension is going high. And then I told my brother to stop. Then I faced her. You know what I told her? I told her that you have to understand one thing. You are a woman. You're supposed to de-escalate. You're supposed to backtrack. You're supposed to take the back seat. You're supposed to de-escalate. If you guys start fighting right now, he's going to knock you out 10 times. You're supposed to de-escalate at every time. Don't put up a fight with a man. And the reason why my sister sometimes will do that is because she was raised among men, so she's very strong for a woman. But I also, even she's 47 years old, I also tell her every day, your responsibility as a woman is to de-escalate, walk away, walk back. Men are dangerous. I got to tell PhD this. The reason why you can say things like this is because you are in a country where you're a phone call away from calling police, and you are a half away from grabbing a gun. In most countries around the world, you can't do this.
Nope.
Because guess what? It won't come out well for you. You should be grateful for this country and all its craziness that works for you. Because I got to tell you, there is a reason why women around the world de-escalate. Even when they come to the US, some of them de-escalate, some of them escalate. Because they know they can get away with it now. You see what I'm saying? So it's very dangerous that we'll be telling our women that a man should de-escalate. If a man starts de-escalating, we're not going to have military anymore. We're not going to have soldiers anymore. We're not going to have men that will go out there and fight wars, because men are not born to de-escalate. Men are born to charge towards danger. That's what a man is born for. So it's a woman's responsibility under any circumstance to de-escalate. And I got to tell you guys this, right? If we as a people cannot start teaching our daughters, because I've heard all of you said, oh, I got to start teaching my son. No. You can't teach your son to be a pussy. You have to teach your daughter how to back down when a man's voice is high. Because I've been in situations with my wife and we will argue. And my wife want to raise her voice, and I will forget about what we're arguing about, and then I'll focus on her to de-escalate and back down. And she'll be, I'll say, no, back down. I've told my wife many times to her face, back down. I need you to back down. And she's like, I said, no, back down, because the reason why you have to back down is not for me anymore. It's for being out there. When a man picks you off, you have to back down. When a man says something to you, you don't challenge him. You need to back down, because guess what? Backing down saves your life, and it brings the femininity out in you, and men respect femininity. So if you as a PhD think that you cannot back down for a man, that's okay. But guess one thing I like about American women? When they travel out of the United States, they obey every single goddamn law outside the United States, because they know they can. But guess what? The law here has empowered you to slap a man.
So
if you slap a man,
He punched her.
Should she lose her son though? Should she lose her son to custody of her son?
The thing is this, right? She should lose custody of her son, because you know what? She has killed that guy spiritually. She's killed the guy. The guy is dead. He's a dead man walking, a dead teenager walking. Because guess what? When you kill another man, right? You've killed yourself. You see what I'm saying? When you kill a human being, you kill yourself, because you will be known, subconsciously, you will always have this killer instinct in you, and also the judgment of being a killer, except if you're a born killer. If you're born a killer, right, you can't, it's a totally different thing. But subconsciously, you always know that you've done something. You've taken somebody else's life. So you are damaged. The child is damaged for life.
Who's
so
next?
She should.
No, we got you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know my mic was off. I was talking to myself. But who's that? Listen, I don't agree with that. I mean, why should the government be the only person telling people to go kill people? We tell millions of men to go kill people. I don't like this woman either. But this guy saw this dude wheeling on his mother. I think he's sleeping pretty good at night. I don't know if he's sleeping like some kind of. I mean, we got to stop. He's 14, and let's get to the question. I don't think she should have ever had custody of this kid, but it's too late. He's 14. He might even have a say over where he goes. We're going to put him in some kind of foster care? With who? With who? If his father was around, he would have been around. So who are we giving him to? The state? The state's going to do a better job? Who? This woman is ratchet and all of that shit, but who are we going to give him to? And I don't buy this. Oh, now he's a killer. He got on his. Listen, man, we live in a very violent country, and people are getting killed everywhere. So the only problem is that now that he did it, he's not going to be able to get over it. All I see is a 14-year-old boy who saw a grown man wheeling the shit out of his mother.
Have you ever killed him? Have you ever killed him?
Let me finish, man.
Kill somebody or pain.
I'm sitting down here thinking all this bullshit that we're talking. That's what he saw.
Have you ever killed a man? Have you ever killed a man?
Wait a minute, man. This is not the question on the floor. You know, so I have a kid. He might have some residual effects, but let's not act like he's some kind of guy who can never be whole again because he protected his mother. I don't believe that.
He's not saying he can't be whole.
He needs some counseling, maybe. Just like a cop might need counseling. But for you guys to sit down here and say that a guy seeing a dude wheel on his mother has to think about the law and my future and all this. It's just bullshit. Come on. You all have
Have you ever seen your mom get beat down?
Have you ever killed somebody or pain?
If I had a gun and I saw somebody willing on, I would have.
But no, the question is, have you ever killed somebody?
Hell no.
Hang on. But let's take it away from the personal and let's stick to the story. So I'll ask one question that pertains to the story. Let me ask you this, Mr. Payne. Do you think she's most likely to do this again if she got away with it now?
Yeah, she's a ratchet ass hyena. But we're talking.
Okay. So by that logic, should she not lose her son at risk of him doing this again? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so I'm saying, if the answer to that is yes, we gotta say lose her son to who?
Okay, so who's next? Who's next?
Okay, so there's got to be family besides her, right? The mother, the father, the uncle, the aunt, the grandma, the grandpa.
You don't know that they want to take him. You don't know if
but that's what I'm.
Take him.
Who's next? Who has that?
So she should have knew that before the altercation popped off.
Okay, so we're gonna put him in foster
care.
Any
other
alternative.
Wait. Cassine, go ahead, Cassine.
So any other alternative versus him staying with the mom with a certain mental state that's going to allow him to kill somebody. So anything else outside of that is wrong, right? That there's no better alternative outside of what he is now that can help make his life better. So basically you're saying he's better off staying with his mom than versus any other alternative that they may have for him. That's just crazy.
I'm sure he got a dad.
See, let me answer this.
Well,
who else is next? Who else hasn't win yet?
I'm gonna finish my thing. He said it, but I'm saying that the question is incomplete because you can't say take him away, but you tell me who you're gonna give him to. He's not a kid.
The father.
The question is, should she lose custody? Should she lose custody? Hold on. The question is not who should get him. The question is, should she lose custody? And the fact is,
question because you can say yes, but the next logical question is to who?
But then, okay, so maybe when the next question.
Here's the answer. How about anybody that ain't her?
Yes. Right. That's the whole freaking point.
How about
any other alternative is better than where he is now?
How about anybody who ain't her, who is more likely, if she got away with it this time, to do it again another time to somebody else?
So would foster care be a better option than the mother?
Right now they're saying anybody's better than her.
Anybody better?
That's crazy. Y'all all
no, it's not.
Crazy.
No, it's not.
They have parenting classes. People have done a lot worse things.
Parenting classes? Black women don't take parenting classes.
People have done a lot worse things than her.
After you kill somebody, parenting classes.
Been able to have their children. They'll send you to parenting classes. They'll,
that's gonna help.
A plan. Sir, can I? What? Are you okay?
Go ahead. No, wait. Let her finish.
Ashton, have you answered the question yet, Ashton?
I'm with Spark, so.
So what's your answer? You saying yes or no?
Lose custody.
Yeah, she should lose custody.
Who are you talking to?
No, Ashton. She was answering. He's answering the question.
Y'all.
Yeah, she should lose custody. I mean, it could have all been prevented. That's my whole thing. Like, she could have de-escalated it. That's the first thing they teach you when you go get your gun permit. And it seemed like she wasn't trying to do none of that. So.
But y'all are taught growing up, don't put your hands on women.
Yeah.
So let's move. Okay. So what's the next question? What's the next question?
So I guess everybody answered the question, but what I keep hearing is when we hold women to account to say, hey, this is what you should do, all I hear is but men.
Yep.
Instead of taking accountability.
We was also
before that. Go ahead, King Spark.
Before we were taught, don't keep your hands to yourself. It was watch your goddamn mouth. That was the first thing we was taught.
Right.
Watch your goddamn mouth.
Right.
Okay, then he shouldn't have been yelling at her either. Then either way, he should have de-escalated.
So exactly. So what we're hearing is that women are not to be held accountable. Wait.
Why y'all going back and forth?
We're not.
Okay, listen. Hold on, no, EBD. Hold on.
Go ahead,
Y'all have to learn when people are not going to argue in good faith and stop going back and forth with it because it's not gonna go anywhere.
John the Baptist.
Stop doing this.
You're right.
Stop doing this.
Get him a Snickers, y'all.
Just recognize when a person is not willing to have a faithful conversation. just recognize it.
Did you answer the question, John the Baptist?
I already did. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, we can move on to the next question.
I'm angry.
I'm not angry. I'm just direct. There's a difference.
What's your heart rate, John the Baptist?
I recognize you're being
right.
You're being
What's
used.
your heart rate right now?
Let's just move on. Let's move on. She's
wait. Let me point this out. Let me point this out real quick. Real quick. Just like 30 seconds. What I think that we're hearing, what most of us are hearing that are black men, is that potentially this could be any of us at any time in any place, and this is wrong. It is not right for a woman to feel entitled to disrespect a man and not have any consequence from society at all.
Yep.
Correct.
He disrespected her first.
She wouldn't shut up. All she had to do was shut up.
You don't get to go into the general public and expect random women to shut up because you want them to. Like, that's ridiculous.
PhD. I don't know if you know, or I don't know if you from the hood. But if it was two men, he wouldn't have gave another man 2 strikes before he started swinging and fighting.
Well, then
he definitely gave her 2 chances. I get what you're saying, PhD. But if there was 2 men in the hood, he wouldn't have gave her 2 strikes before he started swinging.
That's not good.
If there was another man,
because nobody would tell their woman, if my woman goes out right now into the public and a grown ass man tell her to shut the fuck up, what do you think my advice to her would be?
She gonna call you.
Shut the fuck up and get your ass back home, baby.
She gonna call you to go handle that.
That's crazy.
But either way, my advice would be for her to shut up.
It'd be sound
and
logical,
get yourself out of
and
danger.
it protects her. So what I'm hearing
then
also,
I'll handle the rest of that shit.
So
she got a heater in her purse.
Here's a twist. Let me put this out. It's not a question, but let me put this out as a question anyway. Without her son and without that heat, where are we? Is he dead?
She wouldn't have been talking. Just like King Spark said. You can tell when somebody got a gun because they gonna provoke the situation.
But she didn't have it on her though. The point is, she probably with a stupid ratchet. She's ratchet. The PhD diva. I would request that if you ever find yourself in that situation, please use all that education to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, her shutting up is gonna protect her.
When you find yourself with nobody else, with some guy like that, it behooves you just to shut the fuck up and live to fight another day.
Well,
PhD, if you got into an altercation with a man in public, PhD, I promise you 100%, we would step in for you.
No, you wouldn't.
If you was in the right, I promise you 100%.
I would.
I've seen too many times where y'all didn't. So no, I don't believe it.
Why y'all keep going back?
You didn't get the whole story.
Okay, we can't go back and forth, but I just want to put that twist on it. I just think that if the heat wasn't there and the sun wasn't there, we're talking about a whole different dynamic. I don't think it gets where it got.
They were there though. So
yeah, that's true.
Women are gonna lay down regardless. So of course she's not gonna throw hands with them because she knows 10 times out of 10, just like Ekin said, she's gonna lose after 2 or 3 blows. But now with the attack dog and the pistol, of course she's gonna feel more emboldened.
Ladies, get your concealed carry permits. That's the answer.
And men,
listen to the instructions when they tell you to de-escalate.
Ask questions later.
And call the
and listen to the instructions when they tell you to de-escalate. Ladies, listen.
Ladies, act like a lady and think like a lady.
Right,
and be a goddamn.
So y'all notice the laughing and joking going on about this situation when this situation is actually real. We actually teaching men and women to go around killing each other. We laughing at it like it's a joke.
Yeah, nobody's teaching them to do that, John.
Right.
No, we're not teaching them.
I'm not taking that as a joke, but at the same time,
hold on. No. We actually no. Listen. What the question just said was that because of the situation, there's no charges being filed.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's an indirect message going out.
Right.
Leave
But that's
these women
not us.
alone.
That's the
Wait.
state.
What this sets, what I think what he's talking about is a word called precedence. It means that we are starting to see a change in how women think that they can do this too.
Exactly.
This is not new precedence.
Men need to act
new precedence. Women have been getting away with murder from time immemorial. They never. I mean, this is not new. This case might be new, but how many women get away with shit? How about that ratchet hyena in Miami try to get a man murdered and she didn't get no charges? This is not like new.
Yeah, the football player.
Stop it. This shit is just old hat, man. What we need to change is the laws. And you know what? Here's another problem we have. Why the fuck do we have so many women in these high positions in the Attorney General's office?
What? Because
why do we have so many women up there? They ain't supposed to be leading that.
Earned it.
You contradicting yourself. First you say you would shoot the man, and then you saying white women didn't have powers. You contradicting yourself.
Yo, listen, you know what? I hear you, but I'm not contradicting myself because two things could be true at the same. I thought the first shot was legitimate. Because you just like what you guys don't want to say because y'all have a narrative is that if I saw my mother getting wheeled on, I'm not thinking about the law. I'm gonna shoot this fucking guy.
And then what I'm saying to you is
okay. It's not true. Okay. You're lying to yourself.
Everybody, hold on, R-Pain. Everybody don't have your mom. R-Pain, everybody don't have R-Pain. Everybody don't have your mom.
One mic.
R-Pain, one thing you gotta realize, everybody don't have your mom. Everybody don't have this pristine image mom will do that to make good decisions. Some people have moms that are screwed up and put their kids in bad decisions. And so some kids, no, hold on, because you made a statement here. Some kids were raised by moms who put their kids in bad positions to lose. So therefore, everyone don't feel the same way about you feel for your mom that they feel for their mom.
You are anecdotal to this matter. If we cue everybody,
she correct. She did.
Wait. I think does everybody at least wait? Can we at least agree? Can we agree that out of the two adults and the child, that the child was the actual rational actor?
Correct.
I think so.
Correct.
Yeah. But this is where Mr. Payne. So Mr. Payne, this is where I'm saying this is where
I am very disappointed. I'm very disappointed when Mr. Payne said. When I was talking,
why?
I'm very disappointed when Mr. Payne said he's going to shoot a man that is beating his mother.
Listen, man,
are you meeting force? Are you meeting force?
You guys disagree. Okay. Yeah, but you guys disagree. But what I'm saying is, in this situation, no matter how messed up it is, no matter how escalated it got, two adults got to a place where they shouldn't have. The child that was called into the scene was actually the level-headed, cool one that saw his mother getting beat, so he mitigated the threat. He had the wherewithal within the heat of passion of two adults who were fighting, and even with the shooting and the discharging of the firearm, he had the wherewithal to say that ended. The threat ended. This is over.
Let me interject some conversation to this.
Listen, all these guys are against me, and that's not like I agree with PhD Diva with all her stuff.
Nobody's against you, bro.
I say the first shot, I agree with.
I'm against R-Pain.
Those second two shots, I don't. I can have that kind of discernment.
Okay.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. If I walk into a place and a guy's wheeling on my goddamn mother, and I have a gun, I'm gonna shoot the fucking guy.
Right.
So okay. So as a dad, if I'm in the same situation, and my son is in the car, and I'm in a restaurant, and it's escalated between me and another dude. One of the things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recognize the situation. Okay, it started to escalate to another level. I'm gonna de-escalate, go to my car, and go home. Because I have my child with me, and I have to think about who I have with me and how important that person is. So therefore, I'm not looking to get into a shootout. I'm looking to de-escalate, to get back to my car and forget that food and go home. If you're not taking this stance, I don't care nothing about you, because the kid is the only thing that's important in the situation.
So, Mr. Payne, so everybody that touches somebody that you love, you're going to shoot that person. Is that what you're telling me? Anybody that touches somebody that you love.
If somebody, listen,
Because
if whatever, Ekene, we're talking about the situation we have here.
we're being irrational.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute
we're
now.
being rational. Go ahead.
He's 14 years old. Anybody thinking that he's going to buck up against this wild-ass 32-year-old man and win a fight with him, it's just absolutely fucking ridiculous, man.
And then you tell it, and then you tell what you tell Mr. Penn, Mr. Penn, let me respond to you. So what you're telling us today is that every 14-year-old out there that his mother gets in trouble should be shooting anybody that gets into fight with his mother.
This guy,
if you open the floodgate, you gotta understand you're opening the floodgate.
But here's the point: you're acting like this guy, the kid, had all of this discernment about my mother talks too fucking much, and she should shut the fuck up, and she deserves this beating, and because she didn't de-escalate with this wild animal.
So he's going to learn from this situation. No, hold on. He's going to learn from this situation. He's going to learn from this situation that a mom should not put her son in this situation. So he's going to learn from this experience that if I ever see this again, that I should never listen to my mom. I should do something different.
He might.
He should. That's why he should be.
So it goes back to my point. It goes back to my point that he is the 14-year-old is the rational actor who is
the rational actor, but he's the rational, but he's damaged. That's what you guys are not saying.
Well, that's okay, but that's not entirely his fault, right? What he saw, and he reacted to the situation that he saw, and had the wherewithal to stop. It is the mother who does not have that wherewithal to stop.
EBD, check this out.
Go ahead.
By 1955 in the United States, the murder rate was very, very low, right? 2023. The murder rate is super high. Do you know why? Because some things become admissible. You started tolerating. So now you're tolerating a 14-year-old child killing somebody to protect his mother. Tomorrow you're going to have a 21-year-old shooting up a whole party because he's trying to protect his mother. What I'm trying to tell you guys is this, right? I'm coming, Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne, check this out. We are all adults. We are all adults. Let me tell you something. If you ask me, do you want me to tell you what you should have? Okay, Mr. Penn, let me say this to you. In the sense of animal kingdom and how humans used to act before American law started taking over most laws around the world. When a child like this do something like this, the child gets pulled down. But in today, I'm finished. Let me finish, please. The reason why the child gets pulled down by law of the old is because they know a floodgate has been opened and we need to close it. Let me finish, man. Let me finish. Let me answer my way.
You do it too, Arpane.
So what we do is this. When we do in this situation, that kid has to face the criminal system, even if he was right. He still has, because there can be consequences to actions.
I can say, what should he have done in that moment, man?
Not brought the gun in the car. I'm telling you, he should have stayed up. He should have left the gun in the car.
He should have left the gun and call police. If because the man is not of any armed threat to his mother.
Do you know where they were in Chicago? Police take like maybe a half an hour to come.
Either way, still call the police. Call the police. Call the police.
Police report the incident.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Call the police.
Hang on. This is the problem. I gotta say this, right? This is the problem today. When we have men like us that are supposed to be telling society how to de-escalate, but those men like us are telling kids it's okay to shoot up the club.
So let me. I'm gonna go and give a real life experience. I'm gonna go and give a real life experience. I was in this situation.
Baby boomers.
I saw this situation happen in real time in real life.
Okay.
And you know what I did? I called the police.
You know, another thing he could have did. The 14-year-old could have went inside when he heard his mom yakking off. He could have told his mom, "Shut up, get the food, let's go." He could have did that.
Drag your mom out of the scenario.
Wait. What we are missing is that because I heard that. You know, the kid could have told his mom to leave the situation and de-escalate, right? He is a rational actor, right? The problem is the woman, his mother, is not listening to any man. She is raised with no respect for any man. So the 14-year-old kid, her kid, is not going to have the male authority to come in and de-escalate a situation in which
that's why he calls the police. Call the police.
But his mother was in a masculine frame, not a feminine one. She did not need this 14-year-old. Right. But she did not need any man's like quote unquote protection or provision or told what to do. She ordered the son to get out the car, bring heat, and delete this man and this woman who had nothing to do with it.
You guys are still true, right? Okay.
EBD, can I ask you a question?
He calls the police while this guy's beating the masculine frame.
EBD, when you don't feel like fighting or somebody picking, what you do to de-escalate it?
Say it again.
When you don't feel like fighting or you're not in the mood, you know, just for uncaused drama, what you do?
Oh man, there's so many. There is like what I'll do is say, okay, you know what, it's cool, it's cool, and we're done. We're done. We walk away. It's not worth it. Whatever it is, isn't worth it. It just isn't.
Put your 14-year-old mind on it, D. Put your 14-year-old mind on it.
No, I'm not saying he was wrong. I am not saying the 14-year-old was wrong. I'm saying the 14-year-old, out of everybody in this picture, was a rational actor.
So you're saying the first shot was legitimate then?
I got to put it this way.
Everything that the 14-year-old kid at least was rational. That's what I'm saying. Right or wrong, that's a should or shouldn't kind of thing.
Excuse me. This is how violent it's become. If my mother is having a fight with a man, and she calls me and says, "Hey, Ekene, come into the store, bring a gun." Do you know how my dad is going to react if he finds out that she asked me to bring a gun to a fight, to an argument or a fight that she's having with somebody else?
Okay, provided
the society. I'm coming. The society alone. This is how fucked up the culture in this country has been for we black people. The society alone would have destroyed my mother.
It's not culture.
They would have said something about my mother. My mother would. I agree with you, Mr. Play. This is not a place of culture. I understand that. But why are we doing?
It's not a cultural thing.
Hey, I live in two countries. I'm sorry. I live I live in two countries. Okay, I do business in two countries. I don't live in America. I don't live in America, and I don't live in Nigeria. I live in both countries.
Okay,
but this is what I'm a businessman. I do business everywhere. So this is what
I'm living in America.
Can I ask you a question,
Go ahead.
Based on what you just said, right? If your mother is getting her ass beat, right? And she wants you to come in, you call your father or whatever, and he comes in and the mother's bloody and almost dead on the floor. He's going to be mad at her because she asked you to help her out? Is that what you're telling me?
Are you asking me? No, guys, please let me answer this question. Guys, let me answer. Number one, this is the most disingenuous question I've ever had in my life. You know why? Do you know why it's so disingenuous? Because that man smacked her at the back of the head. He didn't do any bloody thing to that woman.
Yes, he did.
Have you watched the video?
Get out of here!
No, he punched her with his fist.
No, that's what I'm saying. At the back of the head.
Okay,
that's what he did. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If my mother is crazy like her, I won't even be there to rescue her because I know I have a crazy mother. If my mother is crazy like that, I'm answering your question, right? If my mother is a crazy woman, I wouldn't even be in that store to help her out because she got it.
Scenario. You keep adding shit to the scenario.
Arpan, you said she on the ground bloody. That's adding to the scenario. What the fuck?
Hang on. Trigger Mike's back. Trigger Mike's back. Trigger Mike's back.
All right, let me get the super chat read. I'm sure y'all were doing crazy stuff all over the place.
I feel funny being in this position. I don't agree with none of this shit you
My
guys
man
are talking
Advanced
about.
Perception said, just like Will Smith, women know exactly how to weaponize the men in their life. Men hold the power. With great power comes great responsibility. Agreed. All right. I'm back. Sorry, impromptu work meeting. I was like, what? They just sent a Zoom link, but no, it was like an emergency. God dang. But either way, I'm back.
Yeah, Trigger Mike, what you just said right now is correct. Women are very, very intentional and they are very good. The mistake that we do as men is this: we marry wives and keep them at home, then we go work. But the women take time to study us every day to understand our weak points and our strengths. That is why your mother, when she gets into, or your wife, when she gets into an argument with a man or with a woman, she will come and guess what? Spike you. She know what to say, where to touch, to make you freak out. During COVID, I don't know if you guys saw it on YouTube. Two women get into an argument in Nigeria. Two men stabbed each other to death over argument between two women. Because guess what?
From time to time.
Because men,
yeah, it happens here like a lot.
No, it's not true. Men of today are the stupidest being ever in life. Because guess what?
Yeah.
Let me analyze it to you, okay? Because let me analyze this to you, bro. Let me analyze this to you.
Sure.
In the culture where we come from, Trigger Mike knows this. When your wife and another woman gets into an argument, and you are called as a man to come and that your wife is being called into this, is being caught up into this shenanigan. Do you know what the men in the society do? The man goes to a fellow man. And when he gets to that fellow man, they sit down and discuss what happened. He doesn't charge himself towards that man, the husband of the other woman. He doesn't do that. They both sit down and then they have a meeting of what happened. They call the two women together and they discuss what happened. And then they get punished by society. Not two idiots going to go fight each other over shit that they don't know about the other two women. Come on, man.
I agree with you, but to say that men haven't been stupid over women since the beginning of time.
No. Recently, not since the beginning of time. No, now.
Men have given up everything for women since the beginning of time.
Not all men.
Hold on. We have to hold on. We have to remember, everything that you're saying was the minimum. There was a minimal amount of men, and the maximum amount would do what Ikene was saying. There was not violence because women couldn't compel men to do things. There were also, remember, all of the
Delilah didn't get Samson to shave his hair. What the hell are we talking about? Stop it. All his
chill, fam.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, chill, fam. You on go.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike, tell Arpan you tired of his shit.
Hey, JR, take my name off the top. This is the Arpan show.
I apologize, man. Come on, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You go hard in the paint. For this one.
Tuck your masculinity in. Hey, sugar girls, how you doing?
Okay, my God. Okay. Yeah.
What you got on the top?
Oh, we can't hear you. We still can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Oh, no. We can't hear you. Yeah, take a moment. But damn, what was I do have the number one question, and I think I'll get her to answer when she gets her technical difficulties squared away.
Say something.
I'm mad that I didn't get to hear everybody's custody.
We still can't hear you. Why don't you go back and come back in?
All right.
It's the Arpan show, ain't it?
So, the title of today: should single mothers be raising teenage boys? So, that's the title for today. Obviously, this particular incident, we went and broke down the incident by itself, but this speaks to a bigger problem in general. It's not just Black women that are single mothers. The second largest group of people becoming single mothers are white women. not really as representative, you know, in other cultures because they are immigrating here, like Hispanic South Americans. So their culture is pretty strong within them. Their family values are pretty strong. This is going to be a black and white issue primarily for quite some time. So what do y'all think?
Over 50% of Hispanic children are born to single mothers.
Hispanic children in this country, or I'm talking about the ones immigrating. So that's what I'm saying. The ones
I don't know about that.
Hold on.
That's what the statistics
the
say.
ones, well, it's because of different reasons. So they are immigrating, like you got to, what do we call it? Illegal immigrants didn't come. A lot of them didn't come here with the fathers and stuff like that. Like that, their stuff is all messed up. That's why I don't really understand why we break theirs down the way that we do. But the influx of them coming, eventually they will be the majority, and the ones coming come with the value systems from their home country. So that I don't expect their numbers to stay that way. That's why I don't really talk about them. But damn, you threw me off of my question. You always do that.
I'm sorry.
Should single mothers be raising teenage boys? Anybody? Go ahead.
I think they should give them to the father at like around 14, 16.
That's too
what?
Nah,
man.
Too late. It should be like, I would say 9, 8 or 9 when they start to transition and getting their own life opinions. 8 or 9.
Well, damn, my bad. I was just saying.
All right, I win. Women shouldn't really raise boys because there's a lot of stuff that she can't really teach him when he's growing up and ask him questions because she's only going to give him the female point of view for the most part, and a guy is going to give you the non-fairy tale version or the non-sippish version of how it is to be a man, especially this evolved modern era of woman and era and stuff like that. So like I said, 6, 7. So he can because the sooner the father gets the child or the boy, the more he could masculine him up. That's what I say.
Sugar curls.
Hey, can y'all hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Good evening. Thanks for having me on. So, should single mothers be raising teenage boys? I don't think so. I think that a young boy needs both parents to start off with. I do think at a certain age, the single mother should allow, if the father is able and willing, he's in a position to, maybe at age 11, 12, somewhere around there, I do think the single mother should allow the father to raise the young boy and allow him to give him the proper structure and values as he grows up. There's just certain things that I think young men need to learn from a man. And as well-intentioned as women are, I don't think they can give it to a young boy. It's not because they don't want to or they don't work hard enough. It's can't be done. So yeah, that's my answer to that.
Yeah, this is what I'm gonna say. I don't even see why this is even a conversation. Number one. Number two, if a man comes to me any day and tell me that his baby mama has to allow him to raise his son, he's either a deadbeat dad, or he's looking for excuse not to raise the child, or he's running away from raising a child, or he just want to run the street. The court system in America allows a man to raise his child, his son. You go to court, the judge will award you your child as long as you demonstrate that you're ready to be a father. They will give you that. A mother cannot stop a dad from raising his son in this country.
Right.
100% custody, that is where it might be a little tricky. You got to demonstrate. But this country is not that mean that they don't want these men raising their sons. In fact, United States court system actually prefers men to raise their sons. They prefer that 100%. Deadbeat dads and lazy men are using the court system as an excuse to run away from raising boys. Because I got to tell you, as much as I put blame on women for raising these boys, the men take most of the blame for not being there, because they could be there to raise their sons if they choose to. They can rescue this problem that we've been having if they choose to. But all those men run away from wanting to have a boy in his house because that boy will prevent him from getting a girl inside the house. He wants to turn his house into a brothel or motel. That's why he doesn't want to raise his son. He prefers the mother to be the one raising his son, and then he comes out and cries. Oh, she don't want me to raise my son. She don't want me to raise my son. She don't want me to be the father. It's a lie. She prefers you to raise the son because she knows the danger. But you don't want to raise your son because what? You want to be able to bring girls into your house non-stop.
Right.
So we need to stop this.
So, Ikane, you
I'm
think
gonna
women
say this to that.
don't hide and play with their kids and use them as pawns?
What?
Do women do that? I will tell you one thing. Women do that. Women will do that, but guess what? If you go to court, she can't do that. Because 9 out of 10, the court will rule for you. I've had lawyers, I've had judges, right, tell me to my face that they know why these men don't want to come to court. They know why they don't want to show up to court to take over their sons. They know why, because they turn their houses into clubhouse. Because if they show up to court, the judge will award that child. I've had judges say that to my ears. If you ask, they will give it to you. All you have to do is to demonstrate that you have the financial means to take care of the boy. That's it. They will give it to you. Most custody for a son after the age of 8 goes towards the father in the United States.
Right.
PhD, am I lying?
No, you're not. And for once, we actually agree, Ikane. You was preaching.
Good.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I've been arguing with you all day. Go ahead, PH. You got something, or I'll go last since I talked my quota out already. Go ahead, PH. See if you got something.
Okay, so should single mothers be raising teenage boys? I would say no, but I would also say I don't think single mothers should be raising boys, period. A la Sinji.
All right, you finished?
Yep.
I agree. I don't think they should be raising boys. I think 11 or 12 is too late. I think boys should be with them a little longer than that. I even have questions about girls, especially the way they're being raised. I think that I don't think it should be far-fetched for a man to want to have his daughters with him as well at some point, because it's obvious to me that what's being told to our young women is not that healthy either. You know, from the way things are going. So, you know, so that's where I would landed. I think fathers need to be more involved, and I agree with Ikane that I think the excuse of, you know, the court system and we can't get our kids, I think a lot of men, you know, hide behind that more than we know. And it doesn't matter how you feel about the mother. And I think a lot of things will change. I'm landing with this. If the system found a way for a man to pay child support for his children, I think a lot of things would change. Instead of giving the money to the woman and let her discretion to dictate what goes to the kids, as opposed to being able to do something directly, I think a lot of things would change overnight. But let me land it there.
Yeah, I don't think that women should raise teenage boys. And as everyone has noted on here, there are certain things when it talks about, or when it goes to what men know about the world, right? We're mainly going to teach our boys, you know, particularly our black boys, how to move and maneuver through this world so they can have the best chances, right? We've all been in situations where we've been discriminated against. We've all been in situations where, you know, we've almost gotten killed or injured. So as men, you know, we can relay that information on them so they can have a better chance of being productive. And that's something that a woman, you know, really can't do, you know, to a young boy or for a young boy.
Did everybody go?
Yes.
All right. Ikene, did you go on this topic?
No, no. Let me. What is it? Child support. Say one more time. What?
Should single mothers be raising teenage boys?
Oh yes. I will give you a reason why they should sometimes. If the father is crazy, yes, they should raise teenage boys if the father is crazy. See what I'm saying? Because not every man is supposed to be raising a son out there. But majority of the men should raise their boys. I will tell you, a single mother, in my case, sometimes, if you're going to raise a boy that is above the age of 8 and the dad is crazy, send him to your father as a mother. Send him to your father if you still have a father, or to a trusted brother or uncle to raise your boys, or a trusted male figure. I got to tell you something, man. There are a lot of, we cannot be naive about this. There are a lot of crazy men out there that shouldn't be raising kids at all.
But how did they have the child then?
Oh, because the women are careless. That's why. If you know a man is not supposed to be a father, why should you open your legs to the man? Women should know how to allow penis inside them. Okay, let me tell you this thing. You know, we had a show one time that we said, oh, should women be selective of who they have sex with? And we were talking about something like that. Design Baby has been around. Design Baby has been around for centuries because women procreate with the best of the men. You know why? Because they don't want to have messed up kids. Even in Africa, you design your child by looking at the man that you need. You see what I'm saying? You want the best of the man, the best character to be the father of your child. You don't want somebody messed up to be the father of your child. So the women don't know how to choose. So in that case, I blame the women most of the time for choosing. I don't blame a man for having sex with a woman. I blame a woman for opening her legs to the man.
No, but she's gonna say that, oh, you didn't have to impregnate her. You know, you could have, used the protection or.
It doesn't matter. Protection, no protection. It doesn't matter.
No. It doesn't
matter. Yeah, I agree. I mean, but obviously the what you were saying about women choosing guys for the genes. So would you say that the woman that with the 14-year-old boy, did you say that she made a good choice on choosing a father with good genes, since with everything that transpired?
In the modern era, my man, women are not choosing men based on the genes. They're choosing men based on aesthetics, the aesthetics that make them horny. So this chick opened her legs because this guy just was appealing with. But let's not mistake, and women don't agree to this, but they have absolute control on who enters them. The law says it at every level. And men will take sex from women any way they'll give it. And so she chose whoever that Pookie was, or he might not have been a Pookie. We don't know who his father was. But she chose whoever man she let shoot up in her was somebody who was pleasing to her at the time. And that's all we know right now. That's it.
All right. We about to wind it down. Did Sugar Curls, did you go on this? All right. We got one super chat. Somebody read that for me, please.
Kelly Connections, $2. Couples need to stay married. Childs need both.
Yes. So
I don't think people are getting married to have children.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I don't think people are getting married to have children. It's the other way around. It's like we're gonna have children, and then if we don't work out with the child, then we're not gonna get married.
Yeah, and that's why our community is almost dead.
Shout out to Kelly. I absolutely agree. This is the number one outlook and purpose I do the show. Obviously, couples need to be married. That's the best institution. And for those people that think that I'm some kind of traditionalist, I challenge you to say, I'm not a traditionalist for the sake of being a traditionalist. I'm a traditionalist because nobody has shown anything that is proven to work other than marriage. Nobody, not one person, can say that there's another institution that can raise better children than the institution of marriage. So the second you provide me with that type of evidence, I will start pushing another narrative. All right, somebody get this one for me, please. I am still chewing.
I'll read it. It says from Dia Andre Malik. Just a heads up, they have dropped the charges from what I have seen.
Andre, you about 4 hours late, bro. We done had a whole show. We had a whole show about all of this. But we appreciate
thanks for the test spot, right?
Yeah.
So you paid us money so you could find out we already knew. But I thank you. We appreciate any and all support we get. Thank you for supporting the show, bro. All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Kids about to get home, and they got to do their sight words and multiplication and stuff. So, life, right? But, hey, thanks, y'all, for coming up on the show today. This was a very good perspective. This is going to be one that I think is going to catch.
Oh, wait, no closing remarks?
You must have something to say. Passport, Brother Charles, get your closing remarks. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, what I wanted to say for all men, open your eyes, see what's going on. You see how they that woman treated that child as an attack dog to delete another man. So I want men to not be looking at women as a weak, innocent species anymore. Act accordingly, be protected, have your strap on you, pull it out, make sure you're safe, ask questions later, instead of doing it the other way around, because you see that the laws don't protect us, and they're letting a woman go free, and with no accountability, which is what they want most of the time anyway. So
yeah, I'm not
at all times, guys.
I didn't know where you were going with have your strap on you and pull it out. I was like, whoa, what are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
I gotta say something. If you guys let me also give a closing thought. If you guys, I can do a closing thought. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. Yeah, this is what I gotta say. When it comes to having kids, right? It's never a man's fault at all. As long as I'm concerned, it's never a man's fault. It's a woman's fault, 100%. Because a woman chooses who to have kids for. If you have kids that have messed up, it's your fault. If you're a wretched woman and you have kids for a wretched man, it's your fault. If you're a good woman and you have kids for a wretched man, it's your fault, because guess what? It's you that choose. Except in the case of grape, that is different. But on a natural meeting, nope, 100% is your fault, because you're the one that selected him. A man chooses a woman for relationship. A woman chooses a man for reproduction or sex. So that's what I gotta say.
Sugar Curl?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this situation is very unfortunate, and there are just so many things that are missing here. What I will say for men and women, what I truly wholeheartedly believe is that we all need to be doing things that keep us safe. We all need to be, as women, need to use our discretion in the things that we do. And we need to be moving in a way throughout our life that will allow us to see the repercussions of our actions, be able to see ahead of time the decisions that we make. If we do it in our day-to-day life, teach our children, when we become adults, unfortunately, mental illness and certain situations do come up in our lives. We can't control other people, but we can control ourselves. And I just think that across the board needs to be emphasized. Unfortunately, this world is going to get worse. A lot of these things are prophesied to happen, and a lot of these things are going to happen. We do have to protect ourselves and our families.
Yep. I mean,
you might have to have a part 2, Mike. Anyway, you might have to have a part 2 to this, but I already used all my books.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. No, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I do not see, I was so there's no way. I thought it was a joke that the charges would drop.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
I do not see how you just let that slide. We might be looking too much into it. She was like, no, until we had evidence, we misread, we can't do murder 1. But obviously you're going to let somebody go
manslaughter at least.
Exactly, but they're still reviewing it because there's no way that kid goes to school and just gets just assimilate him back into the school population. I'm pulling my kid out. Like, you see what I'm saying? The society got something to say about this too. But yeah, when they start bringing more news, we're gonna have a part 2. I want to thank everybody for coming up today. Thank y'all for your closing remarks. It's your boy Trigger Mike. Thank you so much for all the super chats. Y'all are always faithful. Thank y'all for coming through to the show on the best network on YouTube, which is the Lapeef Network. Thank you for all your super chats, all your support in the chat. Thank you for your dialogue and opinion, no matter what it was. As a community, please think that we're not going to agree on anything, but I can respect and I admire each and every one of you for having an opinion, and thank you for sharing it. I don't expect you to agree with me either. Just show me some respect, and I will respect you the same. I respect all of your opinions. Thank you for coming through. I'm so happy to have mature people to dialogue with in this world, and we're going to do this again, of course. I will see you at a later date. Tomorrow, Chaotic will be on. Chaos with Chaotic. He is shooting from the 3-point line, and he is not missing on these topics these days. So I'm sure he will have a bomb topic for you. Make sure to check him out tomorrow as well. All right. And then also King Talk tomorrow. Don't know the topic yet, but y'all know that's going to be fire. Y'all can see my damn dominoes. This is crazy. I'll see y'all later, man. I'm out.